Record on this as well.
Yeah, backup recorder. Welcome back, everybody, to another episode of the Weekly Planet where we talk movies and comics and TV shows. My name is James, also known as Mr. Sunday, and with me, as always, it's my co-host, Nick Mason.
Okay, it's great to be here,
Yep.
first of all. Did you do that last week?
What?
Crack open a sody pop?
Yeah.
Right in the middle? Right
Yeah.
in the middle of the intro? Wow.
It lets people know that I'm hydrated. They
Well,
worry.
no,
they worry about me.
No. It lets people know you're currently very dehydrated.
They worry about me.
That's going to make them worry more.
So don't allude to needing fluid,
Yep.
because then they're just going to assume that I'm...
I think you should open by going, damn, I got to piss. I got to piss so bad.
Do you think I should start the show like that?
Yeah, I think you should start the show. Because cracking it open means you are right on the edge of like being badly dehydrated.
It's like having a bevy, mate.
People are going to worry more.
I don't know, man. Look, I don't think anybody worries or thinks about me outside of listening to this or during listening.
Try it next week. I'll make a note of it.
Okay, so you want me to say, man,
damn.
I need to piss so bad.
Yeah.
And then don't open a drink.
Correct, yes.
Even though I want to have a drink.
Yeah. But just the idea of cracking open a drink makes me want to vomit and piss, you could say.
Okay, I'll say that.
Okay.
I'll say it all because I'll remember.
No one will remember.
Big week, Mason.
Huge week.
Well, next week we know it's Furiosa, so we're coming
That's
around to
right.
that, aren't we? But this week we're going to be talking about X-Men 97.
That's right.
We finally both got around to watching it after it wrapped up last week.
People are loving it.
They are.
Some are saying the best bit of Marvel media out there right now.
Yeah, probably.
I mean,
they're probably saying that, and that's probably true.
and some people are probably being sarcastic also.
Who's
I don't
saying?
think
Who's
I know.
being sarcastic?
Dunno, man.
I hope it's not you. We don't do that here. So yeah, there's time codes below. Rob Collins, who edits this, so he puts them in, doesn't he?
He sure
Does
does.
such a good job. Or you can listen to the news of the week before you get there, which also have time codes, Mason. We're going to talk about the release date of Supergirl, Woman of Tomorrow. More release dates for some Marvel stuff, including Daredevil, Ironheart, and Agatha, all along.
Absolutely. The one we've all been waiting for.
That's right. Amazon Prime, they're moving forward with their Tomb Raider live-action series.
That's right.
Nicolas Cage's Spider-Man Noir live-action series.
Is that Amazon Prime?
Yeah, man. We're getting another John Wick spin-off.
Oh.
Donald Yen. Then we got trailers for Wicked, Dune Prophecy, House of the Dragon, Rings of the Power, and Megalopolis.
I'll level with you. I haven't watched any of the trailers except for the last one.
All right, we'll do a big pause.
We'll do a big pause at some point.
We'll figure that out, won't we?
Or we won't, and I'll just do it with guesswork.
Yeah, it's fine. Also, yeah, you get it. Dragons, etc. You watched the Rings of Power trailer, but none of the others.
No, I watched Megalopolis, but no.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I was going to say, Mason. But yeah, then there's all Megalopolis news. If those of you don't know, it's Francis Ford Coppola's
Makes
late.
me want to megalop my own bloody head off.
Well, we don't know that yet because, there's the critics, they're in, some of them. And
So one quote says it makes me want to megalop my head off because of how bad and confusing it was.
Yeah.
Some people are saying.
But some people that in a good way. Some people
And then
love
somebody
it.
was like, well, maybe I'll megalop your head off,
What?
buddy.
Wow, that's crazy. I think we
Don't call me buddy, pal, he said.
we were different reviews, I think.
Yeah.
Ones I got are different. But we also got this whole article about
I went to reviewsforidiots.com.
oh, yeah, your own website. Gotcha. I gotcha.
Yeah. Thanks for letting me plug it.
You're welcome. And there's a whole article I want to go through talking about just the making of this and what a nightmare, which I love. I love this stuff.
You don't love all the stuff.
No,
Some of it's inappropriate.
No, I just mean somebody doing something like this and they've clearly gone insane.
Absolutely, yes.
That's what I love. Those elements
Yeah.
I enjoy. And it might just be age, or maybe he's a genius. We don't know yet.
I don't think it's that last one.
You know, it's the last one. We'll find out.
Yeah.
Anyways, Mason, Supergirl, Woman of Tomorrow, which is, of course, the upcoming live-action Supergirl movie. It's based on the Tom King comic of the same name.
That's right.
Give it a read if you haven't.
She goes on a quest across the
pretty
universe.
good.
Pretty exciting.
That's right. It's got a release date of June 26, 2026.
That's handy to remember.
Agreed.
The 6th of the 6th.
That's right.
26. That's right.
Dumb Money
The
Direct.
number of the beast plus 20 more.
I'm so dehydrated. Dumb Money Director.
No, James.
Oh,
that doesn't play with our audiences.
I need to piss so much.
Better.
But too much. Dumb Money
Yeah,
Director.
they're loving that. James, they're loving it.
Dumb Money Director. Do you watch Dumb Money? About the GameStop stock
I didn't
thing?
watch that, no.
Yeah. Well, that's happening again, isn't it? It's kicking off. Now's a good time to get in, actually.
You think so?
This is financial advice.
Oh, no.
Yeah, the price has spiked, and that's when you buy.
That's what you want. Financial advice from a man who's desperate for a piss. I'll stop doing this now.
No, you don't
Unless
have
it
to.
becomes funny again to me, in which case I will.
Don't buy these. actually. Or do whatever. None of this is do what you want. I'm not responsible. I'm only responsible for my own bladder. So Dumb Money director Craig Gillespie will direct, and Anna Nogueira is penning the screenplay.
Interesting.
So
okay.
there you go. It's 2 years away.
Okay. What has this director done before Dumb
I'm
Money?
just looking that up. Right. Oh, the director. That's a great question.
Or the writer. Both of those
the
people.
writer.
They both seem like people of note to me.
She was on the Michael J. Fox show. The
Family Ties.
No, not that one. A later one.
Spin City?
No, Mason. Something about Michael J. Fox and his family, etc. Hightown? Is that a good show?
I don't know.
I don't know either.
Is that about the family of Hightower from Police Academy?
Yes, that's right.
Wow.
Yeah. Seems to be getting
It's
good
pretty.
reviews.
Very
Yeah.
pretty.
Cool. All right, it's a Stars thing. Who's got Stars? I don't know. I don't know what's going on in Stars. I just don't know. And Craig Gillespie is...
Is he related to jazz performer Dizzy Gillespie?
Yes, he is.
That's interesting.
I did Corella and I, Tonya.
Okay. People like Tonya.
Yeah. Also, Corella's not terrible.
Okay. But do people love it?
So it's like Wonka. You've seen Wonka. It's Wonka.
I
It's
have.
Corella. So
You've seen Wonka, you've seen them all.
you've seen them all. That's right. So there you go. 2026. More dates though. Daredevil Born Again got dated March 2025.
Okay.
After extensive reshoots.
Okay. Well, that's sooner than Supergirl, so that'll
right.
tide us over until Supergirl.
God, the first Daredevil, I think it's going to be 10 years, more than 10 years after
Wow.
the first one
Wow.
came out. So that's pretty crazy.
What if in the first episode he throws out his back and he can't do it anymore? Not the actor,
It's relatable.
but the character does.
What
And
if they
he's-
are? No, they
and
both
he's
should
just
do it.
schlepping around. Just
Schlepping about.
Oh, my God, my back.
I need someone to replace me. Not Iron Fist, someone else. Anyone, literally anyone. Kingpin, yeah, that's fine. Ironheart is just dated for 2025.
That's never coming out.
I don't know what that means.
Never coming out.
But Agatha All Along, it's got its final name change.
Does
God,
it though?
it took us on a merry chase.
Oh, what a merry chase. What an incredible joke that like 3 people are in on. And it doesn't work. And it's based on the popularity of a novelty song from many years ago.
Yeah.
That nobody remembers anymore.
2020 maybe?
Maybe, yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, that's starting on September 18th. And it's going to have a 2-episode premiere. And it's
Okay.
going to go week to week.
Not
from
that I don't love the work of Catherine Hahn.
Of course.
But and anything can be good.
It's got Aubrey Plaza.
Oh, yeah.
And it's 4 to 5 years too late.
That's so true.
That's good.
Both things in its favour.
So, yeah.
That's cool.
I mean, WandaVision was great. We all had a good time.
We had a
Remember when
good
WandaVision came out and they went, Marvel Television will never stop. It'll never die.
That's right. It'll always be good, we'd say.
That's right.
We said Marvel television, Disney television, always good, never going to die.
None of our TV stars will be run over by a snowplow, they said, which was such a weirdly specific thing to say.
That is, in retrospect. God, that's so specific, isn't it?
Yeah.
No?
Yeah, I don't know,
Paul
man.
Bettany
Yeah.
was run over by one of those things that flattens ice on a hockey rink.
Was he?
A Zamboni.
Wow.
He got Zamboni. Did you know that?
Sounds like you got him with the mob. That's what it sounds like.
That's right, yeah.
That's a mob death, Mason. We all know what's happening here.
Yeah.
And also, we'll jump to Spider-Man.
Also not there,
Yeah.
Armor Wars, whatever that is now. Movie again?
Yeah, I
TV
think it's
show?
a movie again.
That's out again.
Movie again.
Okay.
Rhodey's in it. And he's
Yeah.
like, I'm real. I'm not an alien, maybe. Yeah. And I got all my memories or something.
That's right.
From whenever this happened.
The electricity went through my brain and
Yeah,
I got
that's
all my
right.
memories again. Don't even worry about it. We're never going to mention it.
No, but as rumored, we knew this series was coming. They're doing a Spider-Man Noir series on MGM Plus.
Okay. That's, old-timey logo, old-timey series.
Yeah.
MGM Plus, really?
Well, I think, aren't they in the... No, because Amazon own MGM.
Yes, they do. That's
So
true.
that's
yeah.
part of that or
I guess
something.
so, yeah, sure.
I guess it's just a production wing of... It's
guess
under
it is,
everything.
yeah.
I don't know.
That's right. Well, they have all
I don't know who owns anybody
James,
anymore.
it's okay because they kept all the black and white sets from the olden times.
Did
From
they?
all the old movies, all your Humphrey Bogarts and whatever, they just kept the old
Kept them
sets.
painted black and white.
Yeah, that's right. And
They
kept,
didn't-
They kept all the black and white makeup you put on people
thank
so they're
God.
black and white when they go on the set and
Yeah,
stuff,
yeah.
and it doesn't contrast weirdly.
That's really good news.
You know, they used to think about this stuff in the olden days.
Yeah.
Now, if they made a black and white movie, all the actors would be in regular makeup and it'd be in color. Embarrassing.
What?
Yeah.
Do they know what they're doing?
No.
Yeah.
They don't. Because they've greenlit all this stuff we just talked about, which sounds bad.
No. Spider-Man
Spider-Man Noir does sound good. The synopsis sounded a little bit interesting to me.
Yeah.
Is it something along the lines of it's a man reckoning with the fact that he
Yes.
was
It's going
the
to take
city's only
place
superhero?
in an alternate 1930s New York and will focus on an older and more experienced hero. And it sounds to me like he used to be a Spider-Man.
That's what I'm saying,
And then he's
yeah.
not in the costume, etc. And Nicolas Cage is 55.
That's where I'm going with that. I
Yeah.
think.
Oh, yeah, Nicolas Cage is reprising the
Yeah.
role, by the way.
And this is live action or animated?
This is live action.
Okay, so yeah, I mean, what it suggested, the specific phrasing of it suggested to me that it's about he was a superhero. So I think there might be some
Ooh, do you think
allusions
he'll
to
suit up? at the end or in a
No,
flashback.
he'll wear the noir suit, I think. But I think he'll mostly be maskless, if I had to guess.
Yeah. No, or he gets a lot of money to someone else does.
Body double, sure. Yeah. He'll get the Mandalorian body double guy.
Exactly.
He's on the payroll.
Yeah, whatever his name is. He needs another job. They're probably not paying him enough.
Yeah.
He could probably just do these back to
Yeah,
back.
it's Costas Mandalorian. Remember him? Australia's own?
Yeah, Mandalorian. Yeah. Also, on the topic of Spider-Man things that will probably get cancelled or something.
Spider-Man, the animated series thing?
No, well, yeah, but...
Freshman year?
Yeah, that's happening. Prime Video apparently have dropped Sony's Silk Spider Society, which would have centered on Cindy Moon. Now, this might go somewhere else. I would say it's not. I remember hearing rumblings of this after Madam Web came out, and I think they went, oh, girl Spider-Man.
No, I don't know.
But, you know, you should have made a good movie.
We were planning on only showing Silk in costume for 2 minutes every episode, so... yeah, I don't know. But that kind of ruined Madam Web, didn't it?
Which one's Cindy Moon? I can't remember.
She didn't live in society for a long time. And then
she was
escaped
squirreled away or something?
Yeah, that's vague. That's my vague notion of that character.
Yeah, cool.
Yes.
I like the costume.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, I think it lost a bunch of creative people along the way and
Right.
whatever. So that's probably not happening.
Right.
But what is happening apparently on Amazon Prime also, they've greenlit Phoebe Waller-Bridge's Tomb Raider series.
That's right.
She's going to be a writer and executive producer, but they haven't cast Lara Croft.
She isn't going to be the Tomb Raider.
She's not going to be a Tomb Raider. She'll probably be Tomb Raider's mother in a flashback.
Yes,
and
that's
she'll
right.
be like, you can do anything, including being a Tomb Raider.
Don't be any Tomb. Don't do any Tomb Raider. Yeah, she's too posh.
We're
a posh family of not Tomb. We're not doing Tomb Raiding. No.
Young lady, you climb out of that attic and stop pretending to be a Tomb Raider.
Your father's here, and he's the same. He's Prince Charles.
I'm here. I don't have time to be a father. I got to go find a watch in a cave.
Exactly, that's right. But don't you come follow me. I'll be back. Don't follow me to do a Tomb Raid finding a watch in a cave.
If I disappear for 20 years, I won't. Don't worry about it. I'll be back definitely.
Also, I'm not cheating on your mother. I'll just throw that in there.
And if you lock the butler in the pantry again, I swear to God, it happened in the game, remember? I swear to God, I won't let him out. He'll die in there.
That's right. And it'll be some of your fault and some of my faults.
It will be a family secret. It's Phoebe Waller-Bridge, so this could be good, actually.
Absolutely.
And I like Tomb Raider in general. I think the Tomb Raider IP, on the whole, pretty good run.
Now, is Phoebe Waller-Bridge, did she get a $60 million deal or something to develop projects
that's interesting,
for Amazon? Was that her deal? Then she hasn't produced anything until now.
Well, she was going to do Mr. and Mrs. Smith, which we can talk about also.
Yeah.
Yep, received a $60 million deal with Amazon for making a new show, apparently.
What does that mean, I wonder?
Development.
Like, does she get, is she given, they're like, well, we'll free up $60 million of budget to make a thing? Or are they like, we will give you $60 million and you can do with it what you wish? Or is it somewhere? Or is it somewhere in between?
I don't know.
You know when J.J. Abrams got that massive deal from Netflix and what have you? Did he make anything? How much money did he make out of that? An astounding amount of money to not do anything. What about the Game of Thrones guys? Did they get a huge option?
No, they eventually made Three Body Problem.
Oh, that's true. They did.
But well, it's like they gave Prince Redhead and whatever. They gave them an Amazon deal. The guy who left the royal family.
Oh, Prince Harry.
They gave him a Spotify deal.
Oh,
and
they
did
didn't make it.
Well, they made a few things and people were like, oh, this sucks.
Yeah.
This is bad and they're boring. Yeah. So there you go.
He's always dehydrated to a dangerous degree. And so they were like, nobody could relate to that.
Can't relate to that, Mason.
They were like, he's in danger.
So it was $60 million over 3 years.
But what does she... Because, see, it's confusing. Somebody out there must know. If you get a $60 million production deal... Because that would suggest they give her $20 million a year. But if she's not producing $20 million worth of stuff in here...
I think it's you get $60 million and then you make stuff for them. I think that's my understanding. Because if it were just like, we'll give you $60 million and you can make something with this, you'd be like, well, what money do I get from $60 million?
True.
You know?
Yeah.
So we'll say, anyway, Mr.
You'd make a short video called Phoebe Waller-Bridge Goes Down to the Post Office.
Oh, my God.
Maybe gets a coffee and then comes back to her house.
Maybe she doesn't get a coffee because she already had a coffee at home. She just likes the walk.
And
doesn't want a second
Amazon
coffee.
have to pay for the coffee. That's on top of the $60 million.
That makes sense to me. So with this, Mr. and Mrs. Smith, we both watched the first series.
Yes.
With Maya Erskine and Donald Glover, and it was terrific and great fashions and good fun if you haven't seen it. The second season, it appears that neither of them are going to be in it. So it looks like it's renewed, but it looks as if they're going to do
and if you haven't seen it, they play two people who are recruited into a spy sort of company, and they work together as a couple, Mr. and Mrs. Smith. But in that universe, there are other Mr. and Mrs. Smiths who go on more or less dangerous missions depending on
your level of Smithness.
Exactly how smithy you are.
Yeah, I think they'll probably like pop in at some point. But the whole thing ends on a cliffhanger as well. If you've, spoiler alert, I guess.
Yeah,
it doesn't ruin the show. That's
good.
True.
Yeah,
but I will say he's touring for like the next year, isn't he? And he wrote most of that show with his brother or something. So
I imagine it is pretty tricky to do all those things together. So makes sense.
Easy. It's easy if you're an auteur.
Yeah,
you would know that. You have 2 jobs. You get it.
That is true. I'm in that much like Donald Glover, I'm an auteur in that way.
Correct.
That I have this job and like a blue-collar menial job.
Blue-collar. This guy pretending he's a man of the people. He wears a top hat.
I do wear a top hat. That's true. Do you remember when like there was that point? I was probably around like it was This Is America era. It was kind of that era where maybe we talked about this before, but we definitely have off air about how like all the profile pieces on him were like, this guy's 10 levels ahead of everybody. It's like talking to an alien.
Yeah.
But then during the press for Mr. and Mrs. Smith, he's just a regular
he's just like,
guy.
Hello.
Yeah.
What do you do? I don't know. I'm just around.
Yeah. He's just normal.
He's very normal.
But every profile was like, this guy, you can't even relate to him.
I'm talking to him and it's like, he was looking through me.
It's like talking to a computer machine.
He had the knife from Prince of Persia. We recently watched that. He traveled through time, I think. We watched Prince of Persia, Mason.
It's true, we did.
Footwork.
And we'll do it again.
No, he won't.
It's true.
We won't.
We never will. Never ever.
Good fun. Anyway, look forward to that whenever if it happens. We should do a video on everybody who's got all these deals and never made anything.
Oh, rat them out as
yeah. What are you up to?
Yeah, give
Earn
us
your
some.
keep.
Yeah. And then we'll blackmail them. We'll say, we'll release this.
I'd imagine.
And you'll get tweets about where's your money? Unless you give us some of the money.
Yeah, that's right.
I love this idea.
I'd imagine, though, for some of this, they'd be like, pitch us a thing, here's money. And then the last thing they did comes out, Rise of Skywalker.
Sure.
And then every executive is suddenly looking at them like, is this guy an idiot?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And so everything they pitch, they're like, I don't know. I don't know.
See, the thing about executives is they're also idiots.
Yeah, well, that's right.
So they're probably quite easy to convince that, no, actually, it's the public that are wrong.
J.J. Abrams is doing something with, what's his name? Smuggo.
It could be anybody.
Goldie Smuggo.
Ryan Reynolds.
No, the other one. His name's Tate something. No.
Channing
Glenn
Tatum?
Howell.
Oh, okay, right, sure.
What's his name? Glenn Powell.
Glenn Powell, yes. I imagine also these deals often involve like, if Phoebe Waller-Bridge gets $20 million a year, it's flying back and forth and pitching ideas, and they're like, we got an idea for a thing, like we have to do a makeup test for a character or a monster. Yeah. Let's do some pre-visualization, blah, blah, blah. And they do that behind the scenes for a year and it doesn't work, and they go, different idea.
At least we wasted a bunch of money.
Exactly. Other people's money.
Mm-hmm. So Donnie Yen's character from John Wick, the blind guy with the cane.
That's right.
Whose name is Kane.
Whoa. They should have called him Blind.
Blind?
Blind.
Okay.
What are you, deaf? Are you the character Deaf from John Wick 5? This time he fights a deaf guy.
This time he sneaks up on a deaf guy and kills him really easily.
Yep.
So the character debuted in 2023 is John Wick 4 and he's getting his own spin-off movie. Oh my God. What are you, cough?
Yes, I am.
Are the character Cough?
Yeah.
John Wick has to fight him and he's just having a coughing fit.
Oh, Mr. Wick, how will you find me with the lights off? Oh, my throat has been slit. Well.
But my cough's gone.
That's right. I had a lozenge stuck in there.
Yeah. So he's free of the family or something.
Okay. Because he tried to kill John Wick that time?
Yeah. And no, he did it. He did the deal. Whatever in that movie. Great movie. Yeah. You haven't seen. And interesting character and whatever. And how does a blind guy shoot people? Yeah. I don't know. He just does it, right?
That's right.
Yeah.
Are we going to have an appearance from New Guy? New Guy with Dog? Remember New Guy with Dog?
Who was New Guy with Dog?
Mr. Nobody, he called himself. Do you remember
played
that guy?
him?
Can't remember.
God, you're really testing my metal, Mason. John Wick 3 cast. Here we go.
Here we go.
We're looking things up. It wasn't Mark Dacascos' Zero, was it?
No, that's Mark Dacascos from Double Dragon.
Jason Mantzoukas, the TikTok
It wasn't
man.
Jason Mantzoukas.
I don't know. What was his name again?
Mr. Nobody.
You're Mr. Nobody, you dumbass.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, and I'm loving
Was he like a young guy?
Yeah.
Oh, this guy. Yeah.
Shamir Anderson.
Yeah, he was. I like
Tracker.
This guy. He was good. Yeah.
Tracker.
Cool, man. Like that. Cool. Anyway, it's Trailers Ahoy.
I
We're going to pause so Mason can watch
gotta
all
watch
the
some
trailers.
trailers.
All right, we watched some trailers.
We're back.
Not all of them.
if we can be honest, I didn't watch the last two.
We don't have time.
We don't have time. We didn't have time in that infinite segment of nothingness there.
Exactly.
Where we could have done anything.
We'll talk about these now, but House of the Dragon season 2 and Rings of Power season 2. You haven't watched the first seasons of those, so
Correct.
it's like kind of pointless in you
Correct.
checking out what's going on.
Uh-huh.
But
isn't it fascinating that an entire Lord of the Rings series came out and some people watched it? Isn't that interesting?
Yeah, it is.
Isn't that very interesting?
I thought it started strong and then got weaker.
Right,
And I
okay.
thought House of the Dragon got stronger. But I don't think either of them are a patch on the previous things when they were
Interesting.
at their best.
An interesting thing that was pointed out to me on Twitter this week is that the upcoming Lord of the Rings, the Search for Gollum.
Where is he?
Where is he?
Check the caves.
Yeah, they're probably in a dirty, dank, stinky cave full of grotty, dirty water and grotty, yucky little freak men.
Yep.
You know? The thing about that one is, and perhaps one of the reasons they're going in this particular angle, one, because it's an unexplored aspect of the blah, blah, blah,
Yeah,
blah.
one explore the axe, but
But also, they own the likeness of Gollum, and he hasn't aged.
Yes.
He can't age. All the other actors
No.
have aged.
Well, also the deal that
Except for Frodo.
yeah.
He hasn't aged.
No, he looks most of the same. Put a wig on that fella. He's fine.
Yeah.
But the thing is as well, I was reading an article this week where MGM, who wasn't Prime owns some of the rights to the Lord of the Rings, but Warner Brothers own Lord of the Rings, the IP.
Okay, right.
So they can only do things around Lord of the Rings.
Right.
So that's why they're doing the Lord of the Rings, the Search for the
Yes,
Gollum.
sure.
Whereas the ring, though they can have the same characters,
Uh-huh.
but they have to be in different time periods.
Great, terrific, love
So
that.
they're not linked.
This is like, remember when somebody got the rights to all the characters from the Hannibal Lecter sort of universe, except for Hannibal Lecter and all the characters that were on the TV show Hannibal? So it was just Clarice Starling and like two other guys.
That's true. That was a good show, wasn't it?
Absolutely.
Was it?
No, I don't know. Nobody
He was
saw
in
it.
it.
Or I don't even know if it
Did
came
it come out?
I don't know, man.
Wow, man.
I think it came out.
I want the rights to some things, but not all things.
Do you want
There was a
do you want the
Clarice
good
show.
things or the worst things?
I'll take it all.
Okay, great.
I'll take it all, Mason. If I had to choose, I'd choose all of it.
Oh, and also I saw a Captain Midnight video about the search for Gollum, and basically he showed a page from one of the J.R. Tolkien books, and it basically says of Aragorn. It's a quote from Aragorn, basically saying, "Story's not really worth telling." Yeah, I hunted around for. It's just one sentence where he's just like, "Yeah, hunted high and low, didn't see him. Not much to tell,
So
really."
he didn't find him.
I don't know.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, because I think the orcs got him or whatever.
Sure.
Man, that's crazy. I think that game is based around that as well. Remember that dreadful game that came out recently?
Yes, that everyone hated.
Everyone hated that. But we'll probably play that for Never Go Back.
Can't wait to hate it.
We did Mad Max last week. All the Mad Max games. Oh, speaking of, and this week we looked at the Mad Max comic books.
That's right.
The 3 or 4 that there are. And that's it. So what's interesting about House of the Dragon and Rings of Power, because there is this kind of online competitiveness that people are pitting these two shows against each other. But it's interesting that House of the Dragon starts on June 16th.
Hashtag Dragon Ring.
Yeah, man.
Nice.
June 16th, and then Rings of Power doesn't start until August 29th, the week after that finishes. So they're not gonna overlap.
Okay.
Yeah. If I had to pick, I would probably say I'm more excited for House of the Dragon now, because again, but now Sauron's an elfman, because in the last one he was a manman.
I vaguely remember that.
And he's like, now I'm an elfman, and they're like, who's this guy? He's
Yeah.
a bad guy. Look out. He's gonna
Of the Jenna Elfmans? Yes.
maybe, yeah.
Or the Danny Elfmans.
He's gonna put his eye in a big tower.
I love that.
Yeah, me too. We also got trailers for Wicked. Now
I
you've
did
never
see this one.
seen Wicked.
I've never seen Wicked.
But now
no.
you've seen it, and you know.
I've basically seen it because it was a very long trailer. And it pretty much showed exactly what was going to happen, except for the fact that it's a musical.
Yep.
Which they're leaning into it slightly heavier than some other stuff recently.
I guess
that's come
because
out.
Wicked is a known musical.
It's a known musical.
They
It's-
know, they
well,
can't
we
hide
know
it.
you can't hide it. But what I thought was interesting.
It's also got known songs.
Oh, yeah.
So you put them in, and
I
people are like, I know popular. and
something about flying.
Flying
I'm
Gravity.
going to get ready to
I'm
fly.
going
or
to
whatever.
fly Gravity.
Okay, right.
Yeah,
Going to fly Gravity.
Yeah.
That's good. Yeah, so like unlike some previous stuff like Mean Girls or
Yeah.
a couple of other things.
Wonka, some of the Wonka trailers.
That they went very far, expended a lot of effort to not tell people it was a musical. This one had what I assume are some recognizable songs. However, you don't see anyone singing them.
No.
They're just in the background
That's true, yeah.
as dramatic action happens. So for the unsuspecting, I think it would still feel like, okay, there's going to be some establishing songs in this.
Yeah.
Boy, I hope I don't see anyone singing them, because I would blow my top if I had that.
Absolutely. Yeah. I've seen Wicked. It's actually playing in Melbourne at the moment. I should go see it again. It was in 2008 in London, about 200 rows back. But it was still, it was great. Right. I really enjoyed it then. So, and we were talking about it, and I've always loved this element of The Wizard of Oz where the Wizard of Oz is just a con man. Like he's a guy and he's just stuck, and he's and he can just build he can build a big face.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's doing a lot of the heavy lifting.
Now that you mention it, I do kind of like the idea that he is stuck in this wondrous world filled with witches and chimerical magical creatures or whatever, and he's like, God, I'm stuck here in this garbage place. I wish a house had fall on me.
I want to go back to a farm in a black and white America. Yeah. Funny stuff. Dune
What do you mean? Who was that directed at? Were you talking about
funny stuff?
Were you talking about you were very like dismissive of that? Was that you just being dismissive of everything we've ever done? You just took a moment to take stock of it and you're like, funny stuff for 10 years. Let's move on, shall we? Or are you suggesting that the trailer was funny stuff?
Funny stuff, Mason.
I didn't see any jokes in that.
No, because the thing, and they're
roommates.
Glinda's supposed to be like she's a bully, and then she's kind of full of herself, and they all learn a lesson and whatever.
There wasn't a lot of room in that closet for all of the evil witch's clothes and stuff.
She's not evil though,
and then
Mason.
She's like, why don't you wear this hat? Was that passant?
Why don't you wear this shit hat?
Glinda was like, why don't you wear an evil witch hat?
Yeah.
And then she puts it on. Does it sort of lead up to a Carrie style moment where she blasts everybody at the prom or something?
Yeah, but it's kind of it's kind of.
Okay.
I can't remember.
Is she really not evil at all?
Yeah, I can't remember. I mean, she's not, and then it goes, I think it does The Wizard of Oz also.
Oh, okay.
Sort of.
Okay.
But it's like from a different perspective.
You really were at 200.
They're like, this girl.
You really were 200 rows back.
Oh, boy, was I. That's what I feel like, just in general, just missing out, don't know what's going on, what's happening,
Yeah.
Anyway, Dune Prophecy.
If you were to start a Three Doors Down style band, it would be called 200 Rows Back. And you'd just be all sad on the cover.
You can barely hear me because I'm 200 feet from the microphone. Dune Prophecy.
Yeah, we did say that.
So it said 1,000 years before Paul Atreides or whatever. I just wrote, update your shit.
What does that mean?
Like, your technology is the same. Yeah, everything.
Everybody's flying around.
Update your shit.
Everybody's flying around in a big concrete brick. Pretty cool.
Everyone's got a sword and a laser shield.
What I enjoy about this
update your shit.
It's 1,000 years back, so boy, I hope you don't really stumble really badly at the finish line. I hope your 1,000-year genetic plan to create the perfect whatever guy to rule the world. I hope one person at the end doesn't like slightly betray you and
No, he won. Do you remember? He won at the end of Dune Prophecy. The movie, Dune 2. He went, I did it. I'm the king. I'm Luke Skywalker.
Oh, that's pretty
Remember
cool.
when he shouted, I'm Luke Skywalker?
He did say that, actually, yeah.
And Chewbacca gave him a medal?
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, it was a good movie. Funny stuff.
You liked that movie. You thought it was good.
It is a good movie. I like everything. I like that my job is this.
Yeah, good. Good, because you're stuck with it forever.
It might just
You've
be.
been cursed with this forever, I'm afraid.
All right, we're going to talk about Megalopolis, which
all
debuted at something.
Now, at this point, we've seen a very short teaser trailer, which I don't think we talked about on the podcast.
Time stop!
We'll see here, and then we've got a longer one. What?
Remember when he yelled, time stop?
What is curious to me, I do. For people who haven't seen it, we get the first teaser. It's Adam Driver. He's in what looks very much like a Sam Raimi Spider-Man-esque,
isn't he?
Kind of sort of CGI style. It's got that lighting to it.
Yeah.
And he walks out onto the edge of a building, and he nearly falls off, and then he goes, "Time stop!" And then the world stops around him, and he gets back off the ledge.
Time stops.
And when I watched that, I immediately thought, I wonder if Francis Ford Coppola has independently developed a superhero movie without knowing it.
Oh, wow. There is a quote about that, actually, specifically.
Because it felt to me like he went, what if a man thought he was a regular man, but then he had special powers? What would that be like?
What if he was in a computer? He didn't realize he was in a simulation.
Yeah. Remember when Shang-Chi came out and Tony Leung, who played the bad guy in that, was like, this is really interesting to me, because what if there was a bad guy, but he had family? What if you thought he was a villain, but he had and that gave him a little, and I'm like, that's all these, man. That's actually that's quite adorable that you've seen so little of this over the last decade plus.
It's just every movie is just, my dad betrayed me.
Yeah.
But he loves me, maybe? I'm going to have to kill him at the end of this.
But I kind of, that struck me, I'm like,
He is 85.
He is 80. That's what exactly.
But
what
he
I'm
has
saying.
been making this for 40 years. So when he thought of it, it was probably a really good idea.
And unlike Scorsese, he doesn't have like a Gen Z
He's had this
daughter.
idea for longer than I've been alive.
Yeah.
Isn't that wild?
Yeah.
I'm so old.
Yeah.
Anyway, Rotten Tomatoes says it's 31%, but that doesn't necessarily mean anything. I'm going to do a whole thing, okay?
Sure.
So I've got some reviews, and then I've got an article I want to read through.
Okay.
Not all of it. Don't worry, everybody. Not all of it. This is from Nicholas Barber at the BBC. He said, it's like listening to someone tell you, oh, it's about a guy who's rebuilding.
This isn't the review.
No, it's New York, but it's kind of it's an allegory for like the Roman Empire and fascism or whatever, and he's building this new amazing megalopolis on the bones of previous New York. They were also filming it. They were getting footage of it, like second unit, when the Twin Towers were hit. So they actually started on this, and like De Niro's been involved with it. Paul Newman was going to do it at one point. Paul Newman's been dead for a long time.
And they thought, what if we tape a bunch of Paul Newman like salad dressings together and put them in the corner? Will that work?
Make a big tower.
Yeah.
Megalopolis.
But then I guess they probably went through a bunch of like potential Paul Newman. I bet they asked Bradley Cooper and etc. And now they've settled on Adam Driver. Not settled. He's a good actor.
He's great.
He's good.
So Nicholas Barber.
Stop! Who else could carry that off with such gravitas?
Nobody in the world.
That's right.
Nicholas Barber from the BBC said, it's like listening to someone tell you about the crazy dream they had last night and they don't stop talking for well over 2 hours. Richard Lawson from Vanity Fair says, this is the junkiest of junk drawer movies, a slap-together hash of Coppola's many disparate inspirations. What really tanks the movie, though, is its datedness.
Uh-oh.
IGN gave it a 9. I just saw that. So
okay, because they thought it was a video game? Is that why IGN are reviewing this?
Yeah. They do movies, Mason. And then you go to the comments and it's just the worst thing you've ever seen.
I bet it is.
Bilge Bari from Vulture who says, Megalopolis is the craziest thing I've ever seen.
Huh.
And this one from Esther Zuckerman of the Daily Beast says, Megalopolis is stilted, earnest, over-the-top, CGI-ridden, and utterly a mess. And yet you can picture the crowded theatre shouting for joy with John Voight, as he says in one key scene.
I don't want to do anything with John Voight.
Why
is John Voight in this? I mean, I guess I know. We'll probably talk about it.
He's a million years old. They've probably been friends for years. So John Voight says in one scene, what do you make of this boner I got? Apparently.
Okay.
And Josh Rothkopf says, I thrilled to Megalopolis in all its overstuffed crazy ambition. Only an uncharitable viewer would call it a catastrophe. It's definitely not boring.
Interesting.
Makes me think it is boring.
Right.
It's not boring. I don't think it was. I got it. I don't think it was boring.
That's right.
I understood it.
I actually, if you watched it and you were like, oh, that bit's boring, I sensed a theme underneath it, made it to me not boring and not a waste of my time. So if you didn't get it, then you wasted your time. But I didn't waste my time.
This article's from The Guardian. It's the quote in the headline is, has this guy ever made a movie before? Francis Ford Coppola's 40-year battle to film Megalopolis. Megapolis? What is it called?
It's Megalopolis. Are you okay?
No. Apparently...
This is going to be one of those words that loses all its meaning.
I know,
once you've said it
I'm
enough.
like, am I being saying
And it
this
never
right?
had any meaning in the first place.
Apparently, we talked about this. He spent $120 million of his own money to make
winery
this.
money.
Yeah, he sold part of his winery. He's doing an interview. He's like, I'm going to die soon. I want to do everything that I can before I die, which, hey, absolutely, you should. That's what I'm doing on these podcasts. That's all I want to do. I want to get to all the podcasts and then I'll die.
That's right.
So they start with a quote also that he said in 1978, which is, my greatest fear is to make a really shitty, embarrassing, pompous film on an important subject, and I am doing it. I will tell you right straight from the most sincere depths of my heart, the film will not be good. That film we was working on was Apocalypse Now, and it was good, and the rest is history.
That's right. Reviews, a lot of reviews for Apocalypse Now at the time were not good.
Apocalypse Boo, is that what they said?
Apocalypse Now, some of them said. Yeah.
Bow.
Apocalypse Bow, very good. Nice. Good one, too. That was Siskel and Ebert. That was on their show.
Yeah.
One of them was like Apocalypse Bow. And they both gave the thumbs down at the same time. It was beautiful. It's the best moment you've ever seen.
Absolutely.
On TV.
So now, not everybody has spoken negatively of the experiences on this, I should mention, including Adam Driver. But one crew member put it was like watching a train wreck unfold day after day, week after week, and knowing that everybody there had tried their hardest to help the train wreck be avoided. The crew members sometimes found Coppola's approach exasperating. We had these beautiful designs that kept evolving. It's Coppola? Doesn't matter. It's either, right?
I say Francis Ford Coppola.
Yeah,
but
let's
again,
go with that.
like Megalopolis. It's got too many P's in it.
Yep.
And then some amount of L's, and eventually it's going to lose all meaning. So it doesn't matter.
Absolutely. We had all these beautiful designs that kept evolving, but it would never settle on one. And every time we would have a new meeting, it was a different idea. When the crew member insisted that they needed more work to determine how the film was going to look, they say Coppola replied, "How can you figure out what Megalopolis looks like when I don't even know what Megalopolis looks like?" That's really helpful.
I think there was another crew member who said something along the lines of, "Oh, we could have done this in CGI in 2 minutes or whatever it was."
Oh yeah, I got that.
And it was 6 hours of doing mirror work around Adam Driver, but like he didn't want to do that. He wanted to do it live. He did Horny Dracula.
He did,
which was all live in camera stuff.
Adam Driver's first day on set was particularly memorable. One aspect of the story involves Driver's character's body infusing with a futuristic organic material rather than using digital techniques.
Oh, like in The Matrix?
No.
Remember when he touches the mirror in a ball?
No.
Okay.
Coppola wanted to achieve the effect through old-school methods using projectors and mirrors, much like he'd done on Dracula 30 years earlier. That's great, except nobody can move, says the crew member. So they basically strapped Adam Driver to a chair for 6 hours, and they literally took a $100 projector and projected an image on the side of his head, and it was all experimentation. But do you really want to do this on your first day with your $10 million actor? The effect would have been really quick and easy digitally, so he spends literally half the day on what could have been done in 10 minutes. Yeah, I don't disagree, but I also think if you're going to do this, you kind of want to figure it out before.
Oh, yeah, sure.
But you know what else is interesting about all this?
Yeah.
It's his money.
Yeah.
So
Also,
he can burn through.
Maybe he's a done-on-the-day guy.
Maybe
Maybe he's
he
always
is.
been like that. Maybe he's just like, I'll figure it out. We're shooting tomorrow. I'll figure it out tomorrow.
Yeah.
Don't worry about it. Also, you could break that. You could break anything in the movie making process to like, or you could just do like, oh my god, we don't have to sit around while this actor says his monologue and he does like 10 takes of it until he gets it right. Why can't we just film him flapping his mouth open and closed, and then we'll do a voiceover later. Do that in 10 minutes.
Yeah.
You know?
It's a good point, actually.
Yeah, I make great points.
Yeah.
Thank you. When we put the bird noises in.
Apparently, it would often show up for these big sequences with no plan.
Nice.
No plan had been put in place because he wouldn't allow his collaborators to put a plan in place. He would just often sit in his trailer for hours on end, wouldn't talk to anybody while often smoking marijuana.
Excuse
Hello.
me?
And hours would go by without anything being filmed, and the crew and cast would all stand around and wait. And then he'd come out and whip up something that didn't make sense and that didn't follow anything anybody had spoken about or anything that was on the page. And we'd just go along with it, trying to make the best of it. Pretty much every day, we'd just walk away shaking our heads, wondering what we'd just spent the last 12 hours doing. Several sources also felt that Coppola could be old school in his behavior around
Inappropriate.
women.
Inappropriate. Yeah. Okay.
Old school.
I don't
like the movie Old School.
Oh, sure. That was a good movie.
He allegedly pulled women onto his lap, for example.
Okay.
And during one Machiavellian nightclub scene being shot for the film, witnesses say Coppola came on the set and tried to kiss some of the topless and scantily clad female extras. He apparently claimed he was trying to get them in the mood.
To act.
What is that even? Like,
I don't know.
What are you doing?
What are you doing, Francis Ford Coppola? What are you doing?
In the mood for what?
It's better be a really good movie.
Well, it sounds like it is. We've talked about this, but the virtual volume was abandoned in favor of more traditional green screen technology, according to one source. He said his dig at us was always, I don't want to make a Marvel movie. But at the end of the day, that's what he ended up shooting.
Uh-oh. But what era of Marvel movie is the question, you know what I mean? Because again, when we
Sure.
talk about Iron Man 2008, so much of that was done on the day, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
We had Downey Jr. and bloody Mr.
Jeff
Director Man.
Bridges.
Jeff Bridges.
Yeah.
And
John Favreau.
John Favreau just in their trailers, just writing up dialogue and what have you. So, you know.
Yep, absolutely.
It works or it doesn't work.
Sometimes it doesn't.
Maybe, I mean, what if he's taken all his cues from the one Marvel movie he's seen, Ghost Rider Spirit of Vengeance, starring his nephew.
Does he not know that that's not an MCU
Nicholas
movie?
Coppola.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
See, nepotism, baby. No. And now he's Spider-Man. That's
right.
how he got to be Spider-Man. I knew it. I knew something was wrong with that guy.
That's right.
Also, this is sad, but during the time he was shooting Megalopolis, Coppola was also contending with the fact that his wife Eleanor had become ill. She was on set and location during the making of the film until her illness prevented her from being there, a spokesperson said, and she died last month. So he was also contending with that.
Yes.
During all of this. But again, what I mean, the groping thing. Yeah, that's obviously.
Stop it.
What are you doing? But for the rest of this, like, it's his money. But I guess if your name's on it, you're like, I worked on this thing, and they're like, that was bad. And like, yeah, but it was. Nobody told me.
We were
anything.
fleecing a really old guy out of a bunch of money.
Yeah, you got to understand.
Yeah.
So
there's free money up for grabs.
Yeah,
It's like the gold rush over there.
It's getting
A drubbing? A critical
Well, it
drubbing?
is, but it's getting an IMAX around the world release thing.
Oh, and also it's got a thing. I don't know if you've mentioned this here.
Well, I don't think I have.
I have two thoughts. One, the thought I had earlier was that, again, he doesn't have like Scorsese has like a Gen Z daughter to be like,
okay.
what you're doing is cringe, Dad. He doesn't have anything like that. But the second thing, did you also read that apparently there's a point where somebody comes out of the crowd, like in real life, and goes in like and talks to the screen, and Adam Driver talks back to the person.
What?
Did you not see this?
No.
Well, this is new information for you, but this is the thing. So
what's going to happen in other screenings?
That's exactly right. The reason, and I think that's probably the reason why. One of the reasons. I mean, this could be an absolute mess, but maybe this is one of the reasons it can't get a distributor. Because they're going to have to get cinema employees to do it.
Oh, my God. Just get a disgruntled teenager.
Just get a guy at the Hoyts to come
Hi,
in.
Adam Driver. Hi.
Hey, what's...
I'm using time travel powers.
Yep. That's right. How are you enjoying your time travel powers, Mr. Driver?
Yeah, pretty good. Pretty good.
Right.
Did you see the scene earlier where I turned into a robot?
No, I was actually at the concession stand. Some guy showed up 40 minutes late and he wanted extra hot popcorn. I don't even know what that meant. But I had to...
I just put it in the microwave.
Yeah, I just microwaved it again. Yeah. And he said, this is too hot. But he paid for it and he left. So I don't even think he was going into the movies.
Yeah, it's hard working at a cinema. That's the actual dialogue.
Yeah. Boy, I bet you wish you had a power to say time stop. Yeah, I do, Mr. Driver. Yeah.
Anyways, enjoy working at Chadston Cinema. They film them all.
Yeah.
Every cinema in the world.
Yeah.
Oh, God. Anyway, we'll see this when it comes out.
Yeah, I guess
there's
so.
no release date outside. Apparently it's coming out in France in September. So that's an indication of something, I guess.
I guess Roman Polanski will get to see it first.
Wow, that's great. Good for him. He's not fucking dead, is he?
Is he?
No, he's not. That's what I'm saying.
Does he still live in France? Where is this guy again?
No, he's in France.
Okay.
All right, should we move it along?
Yes.
Now, Mason, for 10 weeks or so,
Oh, yes.
people have been screaming us. They're saying X-Men 97, etc.
And we said, we're going to ignore you. Maybe we'll watch it. But if we do watch it, we watch it on our own, on our own steam. You can't tell us what to do.
That's right.
That's right.
And we did. But we're still going to talk about it.
Yeah, that's true.
Because we just want to.
We just want to.
Yeah. What did you think the story was?
Oh, come on, mate.
I do have the streaming numbers. We can talk about it later.
Oh, yeah, great.
But let's do this.
Well, it's the
future.
It's the future of 1997.
Yeah.
And the future of the X-Men cartoon from the early 90s.
Yep.
And but this time around, Mr. Charles Xavier is dead. Charles Francis Xavier.
Pretty funny.
It is funny that he was killed. But he's been killed by Henry Peter Garrick, who's one of them humans, one of those yuck humans we don't like. But the X-Men team, they're carrying on. Mm-hmm. They're carrying on.
God, they're carrying on,
like a bunch of bloody pork chops.
Yeah.
Because there's anti-mutant sentiment, but there's also some mutant sympathy out there, and they're having a time of it. They're in the public eye, and what's going to happen?
What is going to happen?
Yeah, that's right. Fights, powers, zaps, kisses,
robots.
That's right.
This was great.
It's good fun, isn't it?
I enjoyed it so much.
I enjoyed it so much. I found it on my own, and I watched it.
Nobody pointed you in the direction.
Nobody pointed me in the direction of it.
I mean, I only have vague memories of what happened in the original.
Sure,
I didn't see all of it because it wasn't on every day all the time.
No, sure. I think it quite well encapsulated the X-Men comic, which is to say superhero action, but also soap opera drama.
Absolutely.
And convoluted adventuring, and there's mutants and robots and aliens and time travel and
pouches.
So many pouches.
Yeah. What I was doing some research on the animation of this and the original one. Mm-hmm. And one of the things they found really difficult about the original one was that everybody's so detailed and different. So everyone's got abs and pouches and like capes and hair and and it's all and when you've got somebody running towards the camera or whatever, or
you've got the entire team running towards the camera.
Brutal, man.
Exactly, yeah. It's not a Power Rangers situation where they're all the same but different colors, or a Transformers situation where you've got Optimus Prime in the front and just miscellaneous Transformers in the back, just some blocky dudes in the back,
Exactly. So, what I didn't realize until I'd watched this, that this is 2D animation, like it is all digitized, etc. There are 3D elements in it, like ships and whatnot, but they've slightly simplified the designs, but kind of kept the feel of all of them.
Yes.
I didn't think that I would. I wasn't sure how I'd feel about it, but I think the animation in this is great, and the action in particular, it's so dynamic. And you look at something
Shades
like,
of Invincible, I
well,
think.
I was going to say, if you look at like Invincible, this does action better than Invincible does. I know Invincible's like gorier.
It's it's faster and it's gorier, but it is mostly a bunch of punches.
Yeah.
I mean, speaking of Invincible, nothing has really topped the Atom Eve special, where Atom Eve is doing all
really
sorts
good.
of creative use of her powers. I think this is similar. You know, the team work well together.
It's a little gorier than the original as well.
That's true, yeah.
Yeah, but it's not like Invincible.
No, but we have what I like about it is we have a team who know each other's strengths and weaknesses, and they clearly have strategies that they've done before.
They've been together since '92.
That's exactly right.
Yeah.
You know, and they're good at you know, bouncing off each other. Sometimes literally.
What I think is also good is the voice actors are old and new. Like the original actor of Cyclops, he passed away, so they got Ray Chase. Jennifer Hale plays Jean Grey, who's played Jean Grey before, but not in the original series.
Right, okay.
Carl Dodd returns as Wolverine. Then you got people like AJ Lucasio, who's great. We've chatted a bit through various social medias. He took over. He did Marty McFly. Remember they did that Telltale game?
Yes.
Like one of his early starts was there because he does like an amazing Marty McFly. Anyway, you should follow him. He does like Han Solo in a bunch of
Who's
stuff
he doing
also.
in this?
He's Gambit, but the original Gambit, Chris Potter, is now playing Cable. So some of them they've just like shuffled around. And I like that. So they've
some people's voices clearly have aged a little bit, and they're like, "Well, you've aged out of being a raging Cajun, so you're gonna have to be a time traveling mummy's boy."
Yeah. But yeah, also the AJ Lucasio is like he wears like the Gambit crop top and that he goes to conventions.
Oh,
and that,
okay, right.
which is cool,
That's fun.
Which I like. But yeah, all of that is really good. I think the casting is is really strong, and even the people who were recast, it doesn't feel like, oh, this is really jarring. It's just it's, again, not that I remember it like 1-to-1, but it's a very smooth transition.
Yes,
we've talked about this before about movies that kind of update on sequels. It looks how you remember the not that the old one looked bad because it didn't, but it looks how you remember it. Yeah. Another thing is I love the designs because they kind of change some of the designs from this and they reflect different eras of X-Men. I think it's in the final episode they're wearing the costumes based on that 1989 pilot Pride of the X-Men. So the Wolverine's in the brown and yellow and
interesting. Okay, yeah.
There's a black leather joke.
There sure is.
They finally got him, Mason.
God, that's true. How do you feel about? I feel like to me the downfall of this series is probably the dialogue. Okay. I think it's even though it does reflect quite accurately the original. Yeah, you know, there always needs to be a little exposition, or there always needs to be they have to put in their little vocal tics and catchphrases. You know, every second sentence Gambit does have to refer to somebody as mon ami.
I insist, though.
Yeah.
He has to do it.
Yeah.
I'm okay with it.
Rogue's calling everybody sugar, you know, and there's a lot of kind of... You settle into this world, I think.
Absolutely.
Like, you know, and I think for a lot of people that's going to be very nostalgic.
Yes.
I'm sure they could have rejigged the dialogue so it's more like, you know, an episode of Netflix Daredevil or whatever it is.
Right, yeah.
You know, but they wanted to keep that.
Yeah.
You know, the dialogue style.
I was just looking up the showrunner, Bo DeMayo, who was fired.
Yeah, he was fired.
But he's done some work on season 2.
Has he?
Yeah, well, already.
Oh, before he got fired.
Yeah,
okay,
and he's like answering questions people.
Yeah, he's sort of posting through it.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Maybe he'll come back on board.
Yeah,
I don't know. We don't know.
We don't know why he got fired.
There's rumors it's an OnlyFans thing. We don't know.
Yeah. But what also he isn't. From what I can tell on his socials, he's not expressing any animosity towards anybody. He hasn't revealed it. And my feeling, I kind of feel like it might be akin to the James Gunn thing on Guardians.
Okay, right.
Where it is the OnlyFans thing.
Yeah.
Because he has an OnlyFans, and supposedly Disney knew about it before they hired him.
Right.
But I suspect somebody complained and he got fired. And he's my guess would be he's posting through it and he's decided to not say. Yeah. Marvel sucks and they've done this and it's unfair, blah, blah, blah. Because maybe they'll bring him back. They maybe hire him back. Or he did some crook stuff. I don't know.
We don't know.
We don't know what it was.
I don't know.
We don't know.
It's not for me to know.
Anyway, the plot of this, it's
they
far-ranging.
burn through some stories.
They do, don't they?
I mean, they always have. Like, they did Days of Future Past in like 3 episodes.
And I would say if you are familiar with X-Men comics of the 90s, you probably won't be surprised by any of it. It's kind of, a lot of those storylines are in there.
I mean, some do pop up and I'm like, oh, they're doing that.
Yeah, right, yeah.
This is probably more of a spoiler thing. these.
Yeah, we'll
specifically,
talk plot elements, but yeah, if you're familiar with, those particular storylines and a mysterious figure emerges and you're like, who's that? Is it going to be? No, it's the guy you remember from the comic books.
Yeah,
that's the reveal there. It's
Absolutely.
not going to,
One of the things I like, and you mentioned these characters bouncing off each other, I think they're doing really interesting things, again, like you said, with their powers. Like Cyclops isn't just like blasting people and like he's been the leader for a long time. He's had laser eyes forever.
Exactly. It's a beam of concussive force, and what can that do? It's like how does that work with the laws of physics?
I mean, jump out of a plane and survive a fall. I love that. There's a moment, and this is in the trailer, where Gambit charges Wolverine's blades to do Morph's in this.
Morph is in this.
They bring Morph back as a.
He's the most present day guy.
Yeah.
He's
barely in the original.
I'm not being critical.
Or it's like a
Nightcrawler isn't really in the original either, but he has a pretty prominent role in sort of the latter half.
I saw a thing about there's 3 characters, and one was Nightcrawler, one was Morph, maybe the other one was Bishop, where people remember them being in it more than they are. Yeah, so they wanted to elevate those characters.
Yeah, Nightcrawler was really only in maybe 1 or 2 episodes of the original.
I have no idea. Don't remember. Yeah, it's not for me to say.
It's not.
But yeah, so with Morph can be anybody.
Yeah,
and also take on their powers. It's not just to an extent.
The little, at the end of every episode, you get a little window, a little Windows 95 style clickety click of all the files of all the various X-Men, and you see a little 3D render of them as we see their powers, and it says that Morph can change shape into anyone and gain their physical attributes.
Okay.
So I think to some extent. So I think, also like just on a power scaling question, like if he becomes the Blob and becomes literally immovable, what's the point of the Blob?
Yeah,
you know
absolutely.
I mean? Like if this is the case, then Morph is the most powerful mutant there is. But I think he can for the most part, like he can. If he becomes the Hulk, he becomes quite strong, but I don't think he becomes Hulk strong.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
For example, is a thing that might happen.
Yeah, hypothetically, we don't know.
We get some non-mutant cameos in this.
Yep,
mostly towards the back end.
Should we maybe save those for spoilers?
Save those for spoilers.
Yeah,
if you love cameos, if you love 90s style cameos,
if you love Cameo, also the website.
I do.
Get yourself a cameo. Send it to a mate for their birthday.
That's right.
What else we got? Should we just do some spoilers? Oh, theme song's great. It's great. It's a great theme song. They should use it in the movies.
Yeah.
I would love to see.
James, they did use the movie.
No, but properly. I would love to see but this dynamic of X-Men in the movie.
Sure. Yeah.
Again, not a direct translation of this, but the vibe of this and the feel and the colourful cast of characters and just the variety of powers within this unit, and like they're all kind of. They're good at one thing, but they're really good at that one thing. It's different than the Avengers. It's like it's a different feel, and I think there's so much potential here for this to be so interesting in live action.
That's right.
Potential.
Sure.
Potential.
Right. Well, I mean, maybe this is the test bed, as they do from time to time. DC are quite famous for it, I think.
Yep.
Try it out in a less expensive medium, and then if it works, make some bad Zack Snyder movies. You know what I'm saying?
They're not all bad, Mason. Sucker Punch was pretty good. And so was Rebel Moon Part 2.
It wasn't.
The child of his ear.
No, I think you've been hit in the head.
I've never been hit in the head. Anyway, spoilers.
Yeah, I'm going to say best
series ever.
Bit of fun.
Check it out. 10 episodes as well. Some are longer than others.
That's true.
Last one's like 42 minutes.
You know what's interesting as well is you might look at the list of episodes and go, 10 episodes. Okay, we'll breeze through that. But they're unlike the original, which would have been 22 minutes an episode. These are 35, 40 minutes.
Settle in,
idiots.
Bitch.
Why are we so rude?
I don't know. I got hit in the head.
Spoilers, big time spoiler times.
Magnet is back, and he's trouble.
Yeah, because Mr. Magnet. Mr. Magnet's back.
And he's like,
he's sexy.
He's sexy now.
Yeah,
and then he was always a bit sexy. He's like, I'm dating Rogue, and I'm sexy.
That's right.
And I'm not wearing a helmet because I don't need to anymore.
That's right.
And he's got beautiful, long flowing
because hair. For people who are still listening, even though they haven't seen it, he has inherited the X Mansion and all Professor X's attributes.
Is it a scam?
After he was killed.
Is it a scam? No. Professor X was like, you can do this, I reckon.
That's right.
And he does for a bit. I think my favourite part of this is...
getting his shoulders out.
Oh, yeah.
Remember that shoulder?
Ooh, yeah.
No shoulder outfit, but he's got the gloves on.
Ooh, very sexy.
Right. Wearing his briefs later.
Yeah.
Down into his brief. It's flying around the world just in his briefs.
Ooh. I think Magnet's arc in this is my favourite.
You going to keep doing that?
Yep. Okay. Favourite just, you don't know what his deal is, and it's like, no, he's genuinely trying. Oh, you pushed him too far. Now he's going to,
Yeah. I thought it was just an interesting tick where he was constantly being called Magnus in this. So I guess when he's off screen, people would know who they're talking about because otherwise he's just Eric.
Magnus. That's what Professor X would say.
Magnus.
Magnus, no. I'm going to go into your mind. We're going to look at your childhood, Magnus.
Right.
Don't do it.
Yeah.
I'm doing it, Magnus. Sorry, Magnet.
Yeah, Magnus.
So some of the comics that they touch on, or just do in their entirety.
Sure.
The Trial of Magnet, E for Extinction, is where they just blow up Geonosia. Probably the best episode. It's got Gambit's death. It's got incredible action. It's got like a 3-headed sentinel. Gambit rides a motorbike and he jumps the motorbike.
He throws a motorbike at Rogue. He lights it up and then throws it at. Well, it is a great episode. Continue on with you.
No, it's fine. We can do this.
Well, I was going to say that most of this series feels to me like they're going to go, we're going to take this in a whole different way. We're going to take this into a whole different continuity. Like we're going to do some big things. This isn't going to be the comic book continuity. This isn't going to be the movie continuity. This is going to be a whole thing. And I think that maybe the downfall of this, it's not bad. It's still good. But I kind of feel like the last maybe episode is sort of setting up to be we'll reset the status quo for the next one. Everybody's going to get back to where they were before.
Well, actually, you're right in the sense that I liked that when I thought Professor X was dead, that Magnet was now the head of the X-Men.
That's right.
I really was like, wow, they could just run with this for a long time. And I would have probably preferred, but I don't know, there would have something else with it.
But actually it turned out Professor X was doing a little deadbeat dad routine. He's going off to get married in space to a space bird lady.
Yeah.
And he just faked his own death. But there wasn't really a resolution to how he did it.
No. But he's like, I'm a space guy. And they're like, we don't like you getting married here. And he's like, well, I'm going to break all your minds.
That's right, yeah.
Yeah. That was probably, I think, the weakest element of when they cut to space. And he's just like, there's a big council. I'm like, I don't care. I don't care about any of this.
I enjoyed the appearance of like the Shi'ar Imperial Guard. Or the Gladiator who's that weird purple-haired mohawked Superman.
Yeah, man.
All the assorted weirdos.
I guess that's all weird stuff that you remember from 90s comics, which I do not.
Yeah.
Mojo World was pretty fun. It's a fun arcade homage as well to the Jubilee. Get some play in this. Is that Sunspot? Was it Sunspot?
That's Sunspot, yes.
Yeah.
But no Long Shot, interestingly. Although he appears in one, how the opening sequences, they tease little bits and pieces from what's going to happen in the episode and maybe elements of the X-Men's past and stuff.
The card at the end is like blank. Some of the characters aren't on the team yet.
Well, you see Long Shot in one of those, but you don't see him in any of the episodes.
Oh, okay. So. There's also Fatal Attractions, where they take the adamantium out of Wolverine.
That's right. What's going to happen there?
Yeah.
He's going to go feral.
He's going to have bone claws.
I hope he gets a piggy nose.
You reckon? Is that what happened to him in the thing?
No, but I'm hoping. He got no nose. His nose disappeared.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
No nose Wolverine. So he's got an adamantium nose.
I guess so, yeah. Cool. They had to replace it, and now it's all flopped down, I guess.
And there's also the story where Jean Grey and Scott Summers have a baby, but they have to send their baby to the future because it has a technovirus. But then realize that Jean Grey is actually a clone, and there's two Jean Greys. And then so the mother of Jean Grey's, the memories are merged. And one of them's Firehead or Wonder Woman or something. What's one of them called? Magic Lady.
Oh, the Goblin Queen.
Yeah, and then she becomes a different thing.
See, that's one of the dialogue issues I had, where she's like, "Call me the Goblin Queen." Why?
Goblin.
Set that up better.
Yeah?
Oh, she's gobbling up all the evil.
Yeah, and she does the Phoenix.
And then later she's like, call me Madeline Pryor.
Yeah.
Why though?
Why?
Because of the comics.
Pryor or the X-Men.
Nice. That's an interesting sort of era they skipped a little bit is X Factor.
Yeah.
So in the 80s they were like, well, let's rebuild the original X-Men team.
Ooh.
And so they had
it's like Iceman and Angel and whatever.
So they had a series called X Factor, and the idea was that they were in public, they were like they were human and they were a mutant hunting team, and people would come and say, "Oh, you got to hunt down this mutant. He's causing trouble, whatever." But actually, they were the original X-Men team, and they would actually find these guys and help them out, kind of thing.
Nice.
But the problem,
the A-Team.
They were a little bit like the the X Factor A-Team.
Yeah.
But the problem there was that Jean Grey was dead.
Yeah.
In the comic book, so they were just like, nah, she actually was at the bottom of a lake.
Just like in X-Men 3.
Exactly.
The Last Stand.
You thought she died as the Phoenix, but actually she was at the bottom of a lake.
What's she doing
She was
down
never
there?
she was never the Phoenix. Actually, she was at the bottom of a lake.
That's crazy. So she was never the Phoenix.
But then it turned out later they were like, let's give her Phoenix powers. It's
That'd
fine.
be cool. She did that big bird thing that she does.
That's right.
And Scott's like, Gene!
Gene!
No, Gene!
Hey, Scott, I'm thinking about buying some pants that aren't chinos. What would you recommend? Gene!
Gene?
Yeah, Gene.
One Gene.
A pair of Gene. Yes.
Anyway, the villain is Mr. Sinister, but it's not really. It's Bastion.
Mm-hmm. That's right.
Oh, Storm loses her powers. That's a good bit. I like that.
Yep, sure.
Dawn gets a little arc and she has to reclaim her stuff and whatever.
That's right, yep.
What do you think of Bastion as the main villain? Techno guy's like, I was a mutant. Nobody
pretty
loved
good.
me. I didn't go to school.
Yeah, pretty good.
I didn't go to school.
He went to school for a bit.
Yeah, but I could have gone to more
You think
school.
that's why he's evil? Because he didn't go to school
didn't
enough?
Didn't learn a goddamn thing.
Yeah, that's
should have
probably
gone back to school, Rodney Dangerfield style.
That's right. Look, I did enjoy him, but I think the problem with this particular villain is he's one of those villains that's indestructible until he's not.
Yeah, okay.
You know what I mean?
Until they beat him up.
Until they beat him up.
Yeah, I did like how they beat him up. I didn't think initially that I liked the idea of human sentinel hybrids because it's like, oh, I love the sentinel design. I just love seeing them tear through like giant sentinels. But there was the bit where they're flying in the sky in the jet and whatever, and I'm like, yeah, this is actually pretty cool. This is pretty cool. I like. And the first I'm like, are they killing all these people? No, they reassemble sort of sometimes.
Sometimes. Yeah.
Unless they were flying in the sky and then they remove the virus and they fall out of the sky. Maybe
some of them are dead.
Maybe
Some are
fell out of the
definitely
sky.
dead.
I don't care. It's not my problem.
But also, they were kind of bad people.
They were kind of bad, you reckon?
Some of them were bigots and stuff.
Oh, yeah, were bigots and stuff. Yeah.
I
don't know anything about Bastion from, like, the comics. That is not...
I mean, that's pretty much the whole
area.
thing. Yeah, he's the son of Nimrod.
The Green Day album.
The Green Day album, that's right, exactly. A human woman made love to a Green Day album.
CD or cassette?
Cassette?
Whoa, no
Yeah,
wonder
that's
he's all
right.
fucked up.
Yeah, that's right.
Anyway, here's some of my highlights. Magnet's arc, as mentioned. Love that.
Good arc for old Magnets there.
Death of Gambit.
Mickey Magnets.
Yep.
Yeah,
Well,
see, that's
we'll
the
come
thing.
back to that.
But I think, post credits. We're going to talk about a post credits.
The Attack on Geonosia is mentioned.
A post-calypse credits.
Yes. The bit where Magnet's fighting him, he's like whipping him with the train.
Oh, yeah. That's
Loved
cool.
all of that. Rogue, when she just tossed away Captain America's shield.
That's a bit of
Because
fun.
you know he would have had he had a hard time fighting that.
That's right.
Even if he's got a tracker in it, I assume, but if he went and got that on foot. Like
Ages. It's up in the mountains.
That's a nightmare.
Yeah.
And how far into that mountain, you know?
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't know. It might be the Retrieve shield. I don't know.
It didn't look like it. No.
I thought that was
I think
fun.
if it were, Rogue would look at it and go, if looks like it might be a Retrieve shield, she would have done something else.
Yeah.
She would have,
Just bent.
yeah, she would have bent it in half. Exactly. Yeah.
And there's fun cameos. There's Daredevil, Hulk, Iron Man, Spider-Man, Black
Cloak
Panther,
and Dagger
Cloak and
are there.
Dagger. Yep. Silver Samurai's in it.
Iron Man in his 90s suit
Yeah.
from the Marvel superheroes game.
Now, some of these are linked to other cartoons and some aren't. I can't remember what the continuity is, but
Sure.
yeah, it was great seeing Daredevil. I'm like, God damn, Daredevil. That's cool. Just seeing, like, what does Daredevil look like in this universe? And he's probably been in it before.
Right.
What a way.
Yeah.
I just missed that. Also, it was confirmed, you know, where Wolverine's dying at the end and Morph changes into Jean Grey and he goes, I love you, Wolverine. That was apparently Morph expressing Morph's feelings for Wolverine. Non-binary
Nice.
character, by the way. Can you
There you
believe
go.
it? Can you believe it?
In the 1997s.
Yeah.
I don't know about that.
Yeah. I like it when a show's good at, like, so good that people can't be like, it sucks because it's woke. It's just like, well, it's just really good though, isn't it? So it's, you know.
One thing I thought was interesting is that the Black Panther of the time was T'Chaka, not T'Challa.
Oh, okay.
And you know what's? I think something has happened at Marvel where they're like, we cannot use T'Challa again in anything.
For
Because
now, at least.
because Chadwick Boseman died
Until his son grows up in the movie.
and becomes
whatever.
T'Challa again because
Yeah.
his son's name is
I'm
T'Challa.
T'Challa again.
And I've fallen into a time vortex and now I'm just adult T'Challa again. He could. Is what
Could,
I'm saying.
couldn't he?
That's a free idea, Marvel.
Yeah, cool.
Which I think is odd because they've never done that with any other characters before. I don't think.
No, they just this whole doing that legacy, man.
I think but it's odd. Like you shouldn't erase that character because
yeah.
anyway,
Nobody owns a character
That's right.
except for Stan Lee,
Or
who
Mark.
died.
That's true.
Yeah. Post credits, so they all get split up. Some go to the future, some go to the past, some don't do anything. Some just
Think
stay
that
in the
was
present.
Magnet's fault.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
Magnet. You know
Yeah.
what he's always up to.
Yeah, probably.
I like how he's doing magnet stuff, and I'm like, that book must have a magnet in it. I don't know what he's doing. Just moving everything.
Right. Yeah.
I like him.
Yeah.
So they go to the future, and Jean Graham, whatever.
They meet a
this-
young. They meet
a young cabal.
Yes.
You enjoying this?
It's good. They meet a young version of their son, but older than when they left him.
Yeah, that's right.
And that's in the year 3900 or something.
Cool.
And some of the X-Men go back in time to 3000 BC where they meet a young, sexy Apocalypse.
And
His Apocalypse. See those lips?
Yeah, yeah. They've met him before, though.
But as regular Apocalypse,
But do they know his origin?
Yeah, they were like, did you see that look?
Yeah.
Rogan bloody...
They were like, let's kill this guy.
Yeah, we'll kill him now, actually.
Well, I don't know how the timeline works in this, right? Well, we know Bishop went through a portal with a baby and then dropped it immediately.
That's true.
Bishop, you fucking idiot. What are you doing? Hold on to the baby, man.
Yeah.
Well, apparently season 2 is still in the animatic stage. This is good. This is probably at least 2 years away, I would say.
Sure.
At this point. But then again, like a lot of the elements they've already built, and all that.
True, yeah.
And,
initially, when they were like, perhaps we haven't ended up, they haven't gone somewhere in space, they've gone somewhere in time, I was initially thought, are they going to just send them to the present day?
Oh, okay, right.
They
just skip all of that. Well, it's cheaper if you film things in the modern day.
That's exactly right.
Yeah.
What was I going to say? Oh, yeah, so Gambit's died, but he's not dead, really.
No.
Apocalypse is going to bring him back as Death, probably. And then he's going to be like, let's get all the death out of you, and then he'll just be regular Gambit again.
I guarantee.
I guarantee it, mon ami.
Yeah. Got some reviews here.
Okay.
Some of these from great mates.
Okay.
This is from Darren Leslie Jr. who says, loved it. One of the most
What's Darren Leslie Sr. think, though?
I don't know. It doesn't say. One of the most stressful episodes of television I've viewed in a while. Just a fantastic finale that goes out on emotion and action. And what a treat for 90s Marvel animation fans. Can't wait for more. Alex Funder says, starting out, I love the coming out scene with Charles and Eric. Felt super authentic. The action in this episode was incredible. Some of the fights and power-ups reminded me of anime in a great way. Love that Wolverine wasn't a savior in it. Yeah, he's not like the main guy. I think I'm just used to Wolverine being like the main character.
That's right.
And he's not, and I like that a lot. But so many other mutants got their time to shine. Those cliffhangers are incredible. Time travel shenanigans, here we go. I don't need any more live-action superhero shows, just more of this quality animation. Well, you're going to get both.
Eventually.
Yeah. Russell Michaels
You're
says...
going to get this and you're going to get some crap.
That's right.
And you're going to like it.
Yeah.
Like back in the old days, like back in the 90s.
Eat it up.
Whatever dregs we got, we'd take it.
Eat it up. Russell Michaels on Twitter says, #WeeklyPunterPod. X-Men 97 is not as good as the original series, but it is still very enjoyable. Binged the OG last night. Bishop should have kept the mullet perm. Agree. Hard agree. Magnet, good, just to be evil again was dumb. Rogue and Magneto stuff, while comics based, just gross. Best movie ever.
Oh, I thought the voice actor for Forge was very good.
Oh yeah, right.
I don't know if I don't really remember how much play Forge got in the original series, but I thought that guy was good. Cool. Good understated performance. Bit of fun.
Bit of fun,
good work.
And he's got robot parts.
He does have robot parts.
And Braden Cooper says, I never watched the original X-Men cartoon, but this was incredible. I did watch Spider-Man. I was happy with the small resolution to that cliffhanger. I still want a successor, though. I don't know what that means. Didn't that show end on a cliffhanger? We did talk about it.
Which one?
Spider-Man, this animated 90s something. They were going to go to time travel or something.
Time travel?
Time travel.
That's so dangerous.
I agree. Yeah, check it out, man.
Check it out, man.
Oh.
That's the highest recommendation we can bestow.
Definitely.
Check it out, man.
I also got some streaming numbers here. So in 2024, this is the share of Disney original series viewership. This comes in fourth. So it's X-Men 97 at 6.8%. At 11.8% is Echo.
Okay, yeah, that's done quite well, yeah.
Yeah, 23.3% is Percy Jackson.
Okay.
And 33% is Other.
Red Notice?
Yeah, it says Red Notice.
Wow.
So it's above The Bad Batch. It's above Ahsoka Season 1. It's above Mandalorian Season 3. I mean, then again, some of these shows aren't from this year.
Right.
But yeah, it's doing pretty well. And I think just having it sit here for a couple of years is, with the original series, is not going to hurt either. So... Yeah.
And again, I think maybe the proof here is it's to prove if you don't get the thing every year,
yes,
you build anticipation for it. You know
Absolutely,
what I mean?
Yeah. And you got to get something every year.
Yeah. Yep. Really.
Even if it's just a birthday card from your nan.
Oh, it's so true.
My nans, they're all dead. Yeah.
Wow. We'll have to get you something else then.
Anyway, in more good news, we got to move it along.
Okay, all right.
What are we going to do, though?
We're going to do what are we going to do? James, stop talking.
Gene!
What we read and what we're going to read.
Yeah, man. I'm doing the thing. What are we reading today? What are you doing?
I'm doing a podcast.
Yeah.
Obviously.
How's it going?
Really well, I think. I've been saying funny stuff.
Have you?
Informative.
Wow.
Got opinions. There's another guy there too.
Really? You're doing something different this
He's got
week?
a Henley on.
I do.
Okay, that's good. It's good stuff. Oh, we're mucking about, aren't we?
We
it's
do.
fun to muck about.
It's fun to muck about. It's
but now
okay.
it's time to get deadly
Yeah,
serious.
I've had enough of that.
Yeah, that's right. I read the first issue of Doom. There's a new Doom ongoing series.
Doom?
As in Doctor Doom.
Oh, I thought you meant the first-person shooter game comic.
No.
I was joking. I didn't think that, actually.
Interesting. You thought I meant Doctor Doom.
Yep.
Why have you wasted all that time? So it's written and illustrated by Sanford Green.
Oh, yeah.
And also with a little bit of assistance apparently from Jonathan Hickman, who's
just tapped him in for a couple of rounds.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, Hickman's done some Fantastic Four work. He worked on House of X, Powers of X. Jonathan Hickman's good for, as talking about status quo. He's good for, they bring him in on a book and like Fantastic Four or something, and
this is wrong,
and he absolutely upends the status quo, and he's like, "What about if the X-Men? What if this happened or whatever?" And then when he moves off the book, they like return it to the status quo, and they change like 1%.
Okay,
they keep like 1% of his DNA.
He's chipping away at it though, isn't he?
He's chipping away exactly. Eventually,
it's going to be the Fantastic Three. He's got to figure it out.
That's right.
God damn.
That's right.
Yeah,
but he's going to remove 2 and add 1.
Oh my god.
That's right. He'll get you. Yeah. But anyway, this is.
Could you take away some of each of them, like a few limbs? Would that make it?
I think so. Yeah.
How much of each of them would you have to take away to make it?
I took away the thing's face once. Remember, he wore that big metal mask.
Oh yeah. What happened to his face? Got smashed?
He stuck his head in a microwave.
What a dumbass.
Yeah. Anyway, this is Sanford Green, and so this is. I'm not sure where this sits in current Marvel continuity, but it's set in a universe in which Galactus is gone. He's gone topsy-turvy. He's gone all mad. And he's just rampaging through the universe.
What's bloody new?
And Doom attempts to stop him using, check this out.
Is it the ultimate nullifier?
No, it's a big giant Doom robot. It's like a big
sick.
Doom Titan. But he fails and the world is destroyed. And the only people seemingly left are him and Valeria Richards, which is the Fantastic Four, Readin and Sue's daughter.
Yeah, right. As a child or adult?
As a child,
right.
apparently. And
he's so vain. He didn't have to dress up like a Doom
Yeah.
bot.
So this series is going to be it's building up to a rematch between Doctor Doom and Galactus, and
cool.
it's got some crazy visuals. This is the new Doctor Doom suit, by the way. This is the new Doom armor. Yeah, pretty cool, right?
I'll take it.
Yeah, it's good.
I accept.
Yeah, it's nice.
All right.
Anyway, art is incredible. Yeah, it's Sanford Green. He's doing the writing and the art. And it's good stuff, man. I'd not heard of him before.
Yeah.
But he wrote a series called Bitter Root for Image Comics, which is set during the Harlem Renaissance and follows the Sangrees, a family of monster hunters who attempt to cure creatures rather than killing them. Mm-hmm. It was a critical and commercial success. The rights to the film adaptation were acquired by Legendary Pictures. I think he might have won an Eisner Award. He did. He won the Eisner Award for Best Continuing Series for Bitter Root.
Very good.
So yeah, I think this has a lot of potential. It looks very exciting. Looks great. And you should read it. Unless you're a coward.
No, I will read that. I'm looking for a new comic to read. I'll read that, Mason.
Nice.
Well, I saw, and it's currently not on, but if you do get a chance, because I think he's going to move it around a bit, Sam Peterson's show, Why the Long Face.
Oh, yes.
He quit comedy doing stand-up. Well, he's done podcasts. People know he's got this podcast, Confessions.
We've been on it.
Yeah, that's right. He's got 2 Drunk Aunties. These are great podcasts. So I went and saw his first solo show, which hasn't done since 2018 for various reasons, which he talked about in the show. And it was fucking incredible, Mason.
That's good.
Because I'd never seen him do stand-up because I hadn't known him when he was doing stand-up.
And he said he was going to do his worst ever show.
That's what he said.
So it's only up from here.
Yeah.
And you thought it was incredible.
It was genuinely amazing.
Oh, good.
And it was just, I bought a friend of mine who didn't know Sam. I made sure of it. I said, listen, do you know this guy? He said, no. And I said, good.
Okay.
I needed it. I need somebody on the outside.
Was it Barry?
It wasn't my friend Barry. It's my friend Joe.
I know Joe.
You know Joe.
I know everybody in this story.
Everybody
I know
in this...
you. I know Joe. I know Sammy Peterson.
Yeah, you know all these people.
Oh, my God.
And he loved it also. Like, he thought it was incredible.
And they all know me.
They all know you. That's true.
Right.
And then the next night, because Claire couldn't go on Friday, I was like, you should go and see this. So she went and saw it, and she was like, that was incredible. Good. I also met some listeners when I was out on the street.
Ooh, no.
I met somebody
just out on the street.
I went and met someone who wasn't named Jesse. I was like, last time we met, you said my name was Jesse, but my name is this, but I've forgotten his real name. So
ungrateful Jesse, I'll tell you that much.
So I met other people whose names I didn't catch. I met Lauren at the show, who was lovely. He's over from the UK, who we talked about Megalopolis, and it's just like, God, what a nightmare. So it was fun to meet so many
Cool
people
stuff.
out and about.
Oh, we're both in the midst of watching the new Jenny Nicholson video on YouTube.
Oh yeah, I'm 2 hours and 20 minutes in.
About the spectacular failure of the Star. What is it called? The Star Wars Galactic Star Cruiser. What's it called?
Yeah, They don't even really know. They talk about it in the video, but
it's the immersive Star Wars experience.
It's a Star Wars hotel where you're on a ship and
it costs thousands of dollars.
And it's dreadful.
And it's dreadful by all accounts. And it got shuttered. It's done.
The whole thing got filled with cement.
I also watched. I've mentioned them before, but there's a YouTube channel called The Bad Movie Bible.
Oh yeah,
it's about the tumultuous story behind a lot of like low budget B movies and vanity pictures and all this sort of stuff. And he's released one today called The Story Behind Samurai Cop, which is a 1991 movie, a B movie about a guy who's a cop, but he's also a samurai.
Red Letter Media reviewed that and then interviewed the guy.
Oh, nice, yeah.
You want to check that out, yeah. I also I took my daughter, yes, 4, to see If.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I don't think she understood what was going on.
But you understood everything?
By most of it.
Do you understand the themes?
Yeah, definitely. I was like, I get what you're doing, John Krasinski or whatever. Look, it's very sincere and like the lore of the universe, because it's about basically every kid.
I know what
I'm explaining for people. Every kid has an imaginary friend. But then when they grow up, they forget because it's Toy Story and whatever.
That's right. And the imaginary friends are still around.
Yeah, and they're trying to, and then they're like, how do we rehouse these imaginary friends or whatever?
Yeah, right.
How do we rehome them? It doesn't, like, if you look into, like, if you're going like me, what I often do with see movies, like the lore of this and how does this universe make sense and what is this? They're invisible, but whatever.
If you cast an adult eye over this movie, you'd be like, why would a kid want a Betty Boop imaginary friend?
Yeah, exactly.
Betty Boop's been out of the zeitgeist for years.
Well, they do explain that.
Why's your imaginary friend Popeye? Yeah. What's going on here?
Also, look, I'm not going to spoil it, but you're probably going to see the twist coming. A million miles away.
I'm gonna ask you, James, and you can give me a thumbs up or thumbs down.
Yep.
Is Ryan Reynolds also an imaginary friend? Okay.
What an interesting movie.
Mm-hmm.
Also, I'll say this: it's not funny.
Oh no!
Right? But
yes.
And it's kind of getting.
When you say it's not funny, do you mean they attempt jokes and they're not good?
No, there's jokes in it, and it's not like. What a bad joke. It's just not a funny movie.
Right.
If anything,
it's sincere.
The charm in it is its earnestness. It's very sincere and very saccharine. And I don't think that's a bad thing necessarily. Like the first half an hour, I'm like, I think I fucking hate this.
Yeah, right.
But then got into the rhythm of it and like, this is what this is. And like it is saccharine and kind of dour in parts and about childhood and
classic
losing parents.
Kids movie.
It's
dour.
It is that kind of like, almost like an 80s, my parents are dead, I'm an orphan kind of thing. And, you know.
This is the mark of a good movie. This is the mark of a good movie review, James, is that you've given me all the information I need to know whether I want to see it myself. And the answer is no. Because it's a dour 80s Disney movie with dead parents. Yuck. Yucko.
But I think, again, it's getting mixed, but it's not. It is what it is. It's like it's unapologetically just a very earnest, straightforward
earnest can be good.
Movie.
Planet of the Apes, they're very earnest.
It's not as good as Planet of the Apes.
Of course not. Why would it be?
But honestly, like I didn't have a bad time with it. Like I really didn't. And again, my daughter seemed to like it, despite probably not understanding.
Okay, well,
most of the existential crises.
I bet it's fun and colourful, and
and there's fun cameos, and there's fun cameos, and everyone's good in it as well. Like it's got its moments.
All right. Yeah. Well, sounds like another big win for CIA plant John Krasinski. Good on him.
Apparently, it's doing all right. Like it's doing pretty well for the box office. So
good stuff.
Check it out or don't.
I won't.
Yeah, I'm completely indifferent.
Terrific. Is that what IF stands for?
Yes.
Indifferent?
Indifferent.
That's great stuff. All right. Time for letters, I reckon. I'll do a letters theme. The classic one was letters, oh letters, we love you. Some letters, they're only a day away. You know they're here right now. We're going to do letters.
Gene.
Thank you to RKM424 for that letters theme. If this ever gets deleted off YouTube, I'm going to have to go to one of our old episodes that's on.
Oh, and go to the time
code that's on YouTube and then I'll play it in a worse quality. So I'm looking forward to that.
You could get a tape recorder.
I could get a tape recorder.
You'd forget to rewind it, though.
That's true.
Unless you record it like again and again and again. And then you flip the tape at the end and you...
Yeah, nice.
Not a bad idea
That's a great idea. What I have to do, though, is I'd have to call up Triple J and request it on the radio. When they played it through, I'd hit play and record at the same time on my tape player.
Smart.
Record it, and then I'd have to do that a few more weeks.
Yes, we would. Do you reckon we can get this on Triple J? Get it on the hottest 100?
Our letters theme?
Yeah.
Yeah, of course.
Well, now YouTube shows are up for Emmys.
Yeah, that's true.
Is there a chance?
This could win an Emmy? Yes, it is. Yes, it could. Yes, it is.
Yes, it is, and yes, it could.
That's right.
Anyways, if you do want to reach the show, you can hashtag Weekly Planet Pod on Twitter. Or you can tweet us directly. Or go to Facebook, our Facebook group. No. Was that part of it? No. Or weeklyplanetpod@gmail.com for a Gmail.
That's exactly right.
Do you want me to start off, Mason?
Yeah, kick it off.
From Wesley Walker, who says, so we've got Rise of, Dawn of, War for, and Kingdom of. What do you reckon the next Planet of the Apes title will be? My personal prediction is Journey Across the Planet of the Apes.
Oh, yeah.
It'll be a big road trip movie where we see a bunch of different ape cultures. I like that.
That is cool. We haven't seen any of
What's another word?
Kontiki tour of the Planet of the Apes.
Interesting. British bar fight, Planet of the Apes.
Oh, not bad. Yeah, okay.
I'm just thinking of ones that they've already named it. Surprise of the Planet of the Apes.
Surprise of the Planet of the Apes. They were all actors.
What?
Yeah, that's right. In masks and stuff. Yeah.
Yeah. No, I like Journey Across the Planet of the Apes. I think that's
not bad.
That's a great name. Mm-hmm. Does it need to be a bit more like? Because it's like War for, Kingdom of. Does it need to be more like Crunch Time for the Planet of the Apes?
No, see, because they've already ruined the easy pronunciation. Because it should have been Rotpoter, Dotpoter, Cotpoter, right?
Yeah. Okay. Oh, yeah.
But one of them was War for the Planet of the Apes, so they've already ruined it.
What would have the War for? What would have been?
War of the Planet of the Apes.
No, but wait. Yeah. Okay. That's what you're saying. Yeah. I don't like that.
Okay.
All right, Mason. All right.
All right. Yeah.
You got a lead?
I got an email.
Yeah.
It's from David.
David?
That's right. Hey, fellas, just wanted to reach out and thank you guys for keeping me sane while I'm in medical leave from work. To keep it short, I tore my distal bicep tendon the day before my birthday a couple of months ago.
Ooh, doing big curls.
It seems that way.
Girls get the girls.
And
if that's what you want.
The torn tendon.
Yeah.
And I've been off work since. Finally got surgery to repair it this week.
Torn tendons get you Brendan Fraser.
I love that.
Oscar. He'll give it to you.
If he sees the gory stuff, you got to show him. The pod's been helping me keep track of the weeks as they go by, and I've got all the way through. We've got this covered. Working on Never Go Back lately.
Thank you.
Many thanks for keeping me entertained and in good spirits. What's the worst injury you've ever had, James?
Not much, actually.
Yeah,
I've been pretty lucky. Yeah.
Are we jinxing ourselves by saying this?
I fell off a bike and I put my tooth through my lip, and I've got a piece of gravel in my lip still.
Oh, no.
That happened in 1992.
So every time you go through the airport, the gravel detector goes off.
Yeah.
And you have that card that says, no, I've got gravel in my lip.
I've got to fight my way out of there.
That's right.
God, what have I done? I had my appendix out. It wasn't an injury. Not appendix. Another thing. I got my gallbladder out. I was laid out a bit from that.
I twisted my ankle once, and then I went to work the next day. I'm like, this will be fine. And it still clicks when I move it.
Oh, my God.
I think I probably broke it, if I'm honest.
Oh, yeah, maybe you did.
Yeah.
I once
swelled up real good.
You probably should have got a scan.
Yeah, it's too late now. It's been years.
I twisted my ankle.
And it's green. My foot's green. Is that?
Oh,
yeah.
No, is it the one that you twisted?
No.
I don't know that.
No.
I twisted my ankle really badly once, and I felt the tendon pop over my bone.
Yep.
And I'm like, I've fucking broken that. But luckily it wasn't.
Yeah.
I was just laid out again.
And we also do sick BMX tricks every weekend, but we're fine.
That's right.
Because we're so good at the
BMX
tricks.
Now that I'm thinking about it, I'm due for a pretty severe injury. Because I haven't had one yet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you see two men walking across a road with a big pane of glass, don't run down that road.
No.
Because they're going to try and avoid you, but you will go through that.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And you'll cut your throat just like Charlie Chaplin did.
Is that what he did?
Yeah, he bled out on the street.
I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
This one, Mason.
Go on.
It's from Bad Hominid.
Ooh.
Who says, revisiting some of the best of and wondered, did you guys ever watch Arcane? Apparently, was on both of your lists. Would love to hear your thoughts. Keep up the great work. And thanks for the big sandwich.
Was it on our list of things we'd seen or hadn't seen?
We're going to see. I've been meaning to watch Arcane.
And that's based on a video game or something?
Yeah, something like that. And apparently it's incredible.
Okay, all right.
So
it's a new era for animation. I hear there's a new X-Men cartoon.
I won't watch it.
Yeah, same.
Because, for reasons, political.
That's right. Yeah.
What do you got, Mason?
This is from Emerald.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, James.
I will watch Arcane.
Okay, then.
Thank you. Anyway, sorry,
Good
go
luck.
on.
Hey, James and Mason, I need some advice. My 4-year-old daughter loves Spider-Man after seeing the Disney Junior Spider-Man cartoon with Peter Parker, Gwen Stacy, and Miles Morales. The other day, she said she wants to be Spider-Man when she grows up. How do I gently break the news that Spider-Man is a fictional character and she should probably aspire to do something else? Or should I just wait for her to grow up some more? Thanks in advance.
God, I mean, you can wait a bit. There's no harm in a little bit of magic in the world.
That's exactly right.
They do just kind of figure it out,
Sure.
And you're like, this is a story and whatever, you plant the seeds and etc. Yeah, it depends on the kid as well.
Yeah, or you could like stand on the edge of a building and be like, "Save me, Spider-Man."
Yeah.
What are you going to do now?
Yeah.
Oh, chicken out. Interesting.
Didn't you just say earlier that you were going to be Spider-Man?
Oh,
Yeah.
you're just a regular little girl now. Interesting.
Coward.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's tough, but she'll be okay if you told her it's just a story or whatever. And also just be like, I don't know, maybe you can. Anything's possible, You could talk about all sorts of genetic,
Sure.
advancements.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just inject some stuff, see how you go.
Get her a cool Spider-Man costume.
Yeah.
That would be pretty cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And people are going to be tempted to be like, well, you got to get her the Spider-Gwen cut. No, you can get her the Spider-Man
Whatever
costume.
she wants.
Yeah.
It's fine. I've got a photo of my son because his favorite Spider-Man is Miles Morales. Because the first Spider-Man thing he saw was the first Spider-Verse.
Yeah.
He's probably too young. But he got that costume.
Yeah.
I got this photo of him, and when he'd pulled the mask off,
Uh-huh.
and he's just got the grin on his face, just like to see themselves in like a Spider-Man.
Yeah.
Because also it's one of the best costumes to get because
They're wearing a mask.
well, they're
You
wearing
can
a
be
mask,
anybody.
but also like even if you get a cheap one, they look good.
Oh, that's true.
Like the Iron Man one, it's like they kind of look like shit, but like the
Sure, yeah.
fake kind of
That's true, yeah.
padding on it, whatever.
Well, I mean, Peter Parker, he's got a kid's physique.
Yeah,
He's all lanky
and
weird.
they're tight, so they kind of they're good, man.
Yeah.
Like even a shitty one's pretty
That's
good.
true.
Yeah, cool. Although I wore one last Halloween, it's very tight.
Well, you wore, didn't you? You
I
just
was
as Peter
Spider-Man
B. Parker.
2099. No, that was the year before.
Oh, okay.
or
Because
something.
you
Or
were
year
Peter
before
B.
that.
Parker one year. That would have been difficult to explain.
Oh yeah,
Because it's
all of my
'cause
ones
it's
are
like
difficult to
half,
explain.
because you look like half a Spider-Man because he's wearing
Yeah.
he's wearing like a
People are like, what is
army
this?
jacket and two mismatched shoes.
Yeah, people didn't know. And then the year after that, I was Casey Jones, and people thought I was a serial killer.
Yeah.
And then last year, I was Spider-Man 2099.
You'd think all the parents would be in that exact era where they
No.
recognize Casey Jones.
There-
Elias Koteas from the movie you would
There
have
was
said.
one
Or
woman.
possibly Stephen Amell from that movie where he's a big whiny baby. You remember?
There was one woman I met trick or treating, and
Yeah.
she goes, Miguel Herrera, and I'm like, yes.
Yeah, sure.
It's like, I just didn't expect anybody would know. Yeah. This is from Superman.
Mhm.
Says #WeeklyPlanetPod.
The real Superman.
Apparently, well,
The real Soups
the hand-
on TikTok or whatever. You know
no,
that guy?
not that cool guy.
Ah, that's a shame.
It's from the handle is at MGGGDDDDR. Is that Superman's real handle?
That's his real name.
Okay,
Yeah.
great. He's not from Krypton. He's got another planet that he flew from,
That's
and that's
right.
his original planet. #WeeklyPlanetPod.
On his planet, GGGGDR stands for hope.
Has anyone ever told you guys that you look like the slow-mo guys? No offense.
I don't know who those guys are, but
they
I'm ready
do
to be
slow-mo
offended.
stuff, yeah.
I'm ready to
I'm
be
looking at a
offended.
video. I don't know what
I
this-
bet they're a pack of real goobers.
Oh yeah, they're like generic.
Is there a beard guy and a generic guy?
There's two beardy generic
Oh, yeah, that's
guys.
us. Yeah, okay. We do look like them, yeah.
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 Actually, I just showed you a picture of yourself and
I
Readin.
know. I know.
That's all my tweets.
Oh, well, here's one more email. This is from Drew.
A singular email.
That's right. And Drew says, hello, James and Meso.
Hello.
Scrolling through Apple Podcasts, I stumbled on an obscure
Must be
celebrity
nice.
podcast entitled Fail Better with David Duchovny.
What?
It's about failure and how it shapes us. What are some obscure celeb podcasts that you have come across?
I mean, obscure. Jesus, they never stop.
Well,
do
that's
they?
the thing, don't they? Get out of our arena, famous, handsome, rich people. Get out of here.
We were talking about this earlier. We
Conan's
talked
is
about
great.
Yeah, Conan's is great.
Yep.
It's not really obscure.
No, well,
I
that's
don't
what I'm
listen
saying.
to. I don't listen to celebrity podcasts.
I was going to say, generally speaking, I have no respect. What I was bouncing
No
off.
respect.
We have no respect for these people. But Conan's is great.
Yeah.
I'm going to look up this David Duchovny thing.
Because a lot of the time it's just like, yeah, this is another platform I could monetize.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying that, like, yeah, you should, but it is choked with these
Yeah.
people, and like again, it's fine for us because I would say our podcast does better than most celebrity
That's true, yeah.
podcasts. The minor ones.
Okay, there's only been a couple of episodes of Fail Better with David Duchovny.
When's it from?
May.
Oh wow, it's new.
Yeah, so like it's been around for a couple of weeks, it looks like. It isn't one of those ones where he did it like 4 episodes years ago and then he stopped.
Yeah, okay.
Have you ever heard of Alan Alda's podcast?
Oh no, I have. He does an interview show, doesn't
Clear
he?
and Vivid, it's called.
Yeah, no, I
really
have
like
listened to that. I love Ellen.
He's
Alda.
great.
Yeah, I'm
What
fine
a
with that.
delight.
He can do whatever. I don't
And
care.
it's just about.
Also, you know, with him that like he doesn't have to do that. He's
No, that's
85
true,
years
yeah.
old, so you know he wants to do it. It's not
Yeah,
just like
it's-
he's got mash money. He made
That's true.
he made billions of dollars in the 80s.
He's
and
got
and
he's
70s.
it's a podcast about communicating and
Yeah.
how to make communicating better and he'll talk to people who communicate with animals, and he'll talk about all sorts of stuff.
I wish I could communicate better,
Well-
specifically with Alan Alda. I watched that MASH documentary. Loved it. I knew most of it, but I loved it.
Of course you did.
Yeah, man.
It's great to know all the stuff you already knew condensed.
Oh,
into
it's just seeing like new interviews with like the people who are still alive.
Yeah.
I'm cool with it.
Yeah. What's? I mean, I don't know. As soon as it's celebrity, it's not really an obscure.
No,
unless it's like Duchovny's, which is just in there.
a lot of Australia podcasts. It's like this person was on a reality show, and now it's called like.
Keeping it real.
Fish Finnegan talks to fucking other insufferable people.
Have you invented a guy called Fish Finnegan?
Yes, it's not a real person.
Okay, I'd love to know about Fish Finnegan though. Did his parents name him after fish fingers?
Probably.
Is that how that happened?
Yeah.
Oh, I'd love a fish finger.
But it's and there are good ones. Like I'm not saying
Always
that they're
Sunny
not.
podcast is good.
Oh yeah, that's
Like, when
apparently good.
heard
I've
it,
listened. I'll see clips on like YouTube Shorts or whatever of various podcasts and whatever. But I honestly also I don't really listen to that many podcasts anymore.
right.
Because
I'm going to look up famous people who have podcasts. We'll see. We'll get a list.
famous people that have podcasts, but the podcasts aren't very successful.
The first
or
result
good.
is famous people on Ashley Madison, which is the website for cheating on your wife or whatever.
Didn't that all that get the thing?
There's a documentary now. I
Yeah.
think it got hacked. Yeah.
The documentary got hacked.
Yeah. Everybody can see it. All right. Dax Shepard. Okay,
Yep,
sure.
that's the popular one that I
Yeah.
don't listen to.
Anna Faris has a podcast.
Alec Baldwin.
Our friend Russell Brand has a podcast. Just kidding. He's
Our friend Russell Brand.
Nope, just kidding.
Office Ladies is
Oh,
apparently
Riverside
good.
is advertising 25 celebrity podcasts to listen to for inspiration in 2024.
All these people get like crazy deals.
Yeah.
And there's better podcasts out there, us specifically.
Correct, yeah.
No, I don't think we.
How
ever
did
take
this
it.
get made?
That's great.
That's great. I mean, they
I listened to that before. Well,
yeah,
before
they are.
we did
They
this.
are.
Yeah.
I would say they are, or like it's Paul Scheer and Jason Mantzoukas and Paul Scheer's wife.
Yep.
Whose name I do know.
No, you don't.
I don't currently. I did, but currently I don't. Diane something?
No, it's June Diane Raphael.
Yeah, it was close.
Raphael.
There was a word in there.
Yeah, she's great.
Yeah, but I mean, I would describe them as character actors who they didn't do this for purposes of being famous. It's
No.
just that's a passion they have, and they just
They always get Adam Scott on for a Fast and Furious movie.
Yes.
I do listen to Michelle Obama's podcast.
Nope.
It's called the Michelle Obama
Oh,
podcast.
Prince Harry and Meghan Markle's podcast.
Yeah,
we
exactly.
refuse to do a podcast.
I was going to say, yeah.
Hmm.
So that probably is an unknown one because I don't know anybody who's listening to that.
That's right.
Yeah.
Ooh, Kate Hudson and her brother Oliver Hudson have a podcast.
Oh,
That's right.
Logan Paul has a podcast.
I bet
Mason.
he does. I bet it comes out every day.
Yeah.
Oh, there's the Office Ladies podcast with Jenna Fisher.
I
and
said
Alan.
that already.
No, you've never said a single word to me or there are others.
I'm going to type in worst celebrity podcast. What do we get here?
Okay.
But yeah, Conan.
Yeah, I mean, Conan's is the gold standard.
Oh,
And
Paris-
again,
Paris Hilton's got one.
Comedy Bang Bang and Freedom with Paul F. Tompkins and Lauren Lapkus and Scott Aukerman. That's a good podcast too.
I've ever really listened to that.
It's good. It's good fun. I played you a clip where they're doing Wonder Woman bits one time. If you remember that.
Was that recently?
No, this was years ago.
Then no, I don't remember
All
that,
right
Mason.
then. All right. All right then.
What's this side? Hang on, I'm just having a look. No, I don't want functional or non-functional cookies. Can't I just fucking internet sucks. It's awful now.
No, the internet's
Fucking
great.
unusable.
I agree. There was that brief magic period. There were a few years where the
Yeah.
internet was beautiful and you could do anything on it. Now it's garbage. You can still listen to podcasts though.
Yeah.
James, let's wrap it up.
There's an article that says celebrities for the love of God, please stop podcasting and whatever. But yeah, I think again, we talked about this before. But if you're starting something out now and you're not a celebrity, you just need
You need a hook.
You need a hook. You need to be interesting. I don't know. Like we had it way easier than we should have.
Absolutely, yeah.
I'm not saying it's impossible. If you want to do it, you should absolutely do it. It is
Yeah.
possible, but it's different now.
I agree.
Yeah. Just put it all on TikTok as well. It'll
Put it on TikTok.
yeah,
that's
clips
right.
will go viral at some point.
That's
I
right.
assume. Yeah, I don't know. Anyway,
That's the whole show, folks.
June.
You've
It was
upset
me,
the dog
Ollie.
now.
Ollie, it was me banging the table. Is that a little tantrum?
Ollie. There we go. Here she comes. Come here, Ollie.
No, she thinks it's a big possum.
Well, it's not. She's dumb.
This is the big possum
Eh.
that taunts my family.
That's right.
Yeah, go on.
Folks, thank you so much for listening to the podcast. We absolutely appreciate
Yeah,
it.
we do.
We do. Thank you for subscribing. Thank you for telling your friends about us because that is how we get new listeners in this environment where the bloody celebrities are hoovering up all the
They're
all the
taking
listeners.
over.
They're taking over. I don't like it.
Yeah.
Let's get them all.
Let's get them all.
And if you leave a 5-star review on your podcast catcher of choice, do it in app. James will read it out.
I'll read
find
out
one.
your
He'll read it out.
stupid review. No, I appreciate it. Thank you so much.
James, we are losing listeners to Dax Shepard. We cannot lose any more.
Well, if we're going to lose it to anybody, it's from Jungle,
the Dax Man.
The Dax Man. Big Dax Man.
That's right.
Jungle Jim gave us 5 stars and says, a review. These are a couple of classy guys doing good work. Been tuning in since the very beginning and continues to be a very good listen every week. 10 out of 10 would shoot out of my beehole. That's good.
Nice.
And Boolio says, go.
Julio Iglesias?
No, Boolio, the singer.
Oh,
Gangsters
okay.
Gangsters Paradise.
R.I.P.
Gangsters Paradise, but ghosts. My go-to...
Spooky Paradise.
Spooky Paradise. But could this Paradise be spooky? It doesn't matter. My go-to for movies. Always a pleasure hearing the lads talk about a movie 5 out of 5 always. Thank you so much. Wow. So
Folks,
kind.
if you want to get in contact with us, you can go to weeklyplanetpod@gmail.com. You can also go to the Planet Broadcasting Great Mates Facebook group or the Weekly Planet Podcast subreddit and Discord for fun civil chats about podcasts and pop culture. Thank you to Fidel and Maisie and Sarabi for keeping those moderated and doing TikToks and Weekly Planet Clips channels and all sorts of stuff. If you want to follow some people on the socials, first follow our friend Rob Collins. He's at Raw Collins on Twitter. He's at The Weekly Planet on Twitter. He'll keep you up to date on all things The Weekly Planet. You can follow me on Twitter at Wikipedia Brown, and on Instagram I'm Nick Maso. James is Mr. Sunday Movies everywhere. If you want to support the show, you go to patreon.com/Mr. Sunday Movies. You're chucking a bucket on a man you would not miss. That is the key there. And that would very much keep the lights on here. Keep the lights on and the heaters going. A bit chilly over here in Melbourne town.
The temperature has very much dropped, Mason.
That's
I do not like it.
I love it. Or you can go to bigsandwich.co if you've got a bucket. If you've got a bucket load of money.
It's a good opportunity to get ripped. And then in summer, you're like, I'm ripped.
Summer bodies are made in winter.
Exactly.
Or you could go on the Zempic.
Yeah, that's good too.
No, I disagree.
No, I've been eating a lot of it. If you eat enough, you can put on weight.
James, are you having a Zempic sandwich? As I told you specifically not to have a Zempic sandwich.
You're not the boss of what sandwiches I can have.
That is true,
Big
actually.
Oro Zempic.
That's true. Go to bigsandwich.co for $9 per month. Bonus podcasts, movie commentaries, early videos, video game let's plays. We're having a lot of fun over there, let me tell you.
We are.
Good times.
Yeah. Our Mad Max video on all the video games.
That's right.
Which Fidel edited. Again, the Mad Max comics we talked about. Ooh, Furiosa this week, Mason. Sorry, keep going.
That's right. Just about done. So thank you to the Brute and the Basilisk and Rackham for all our musical themes. And if you want a t-shirt, you go to tpublic.com.
Yep.
Search for the Weekly Planet.
Easiest
Or search
thing
for
in the
anything.
world.
Or just go to your local store, buy a t-shirt.
Get a good
Go to your
t-shirt.
local
IGA.
I don't think they sell t-shirts at IGA.
I don't know that.
I don't.
You mean to every IGA?
No.
Didn't think
There's
so.
probably one. Well, they are independent grocers. I imagine
Exactly.
one of them's gone rogue and he's selling t-shirts.
Oh my God.
Hey, do you have breakfast cereal? Nope. But I got this crew neck for you.
You're under arrest. Not allowed to.
With the supermarket cops.
These aren't pricing guns. These are real guns.
That's right. They look like pricing guns, though. Because we want confusion. We revel in the chaos. Anyway, next week, Furiosa. Very exciting.
Oh,
Looking
man, I'm
forward
so
to
excited.
Mm.
Yeah. Cinemas, I've noticed, some cinema chains have started putting in day beds in their cinemas.
Oh.
I think it's at Hoyts or Village.
Like a
One of
chair
them.
that turns into one?
Well, look, I
don't even know what is a day bed.
All Hoyts chairs now are recliners.
Nice.
But the day beds, they're just bigger beds, but they're right up the front.
Okay.
Like you are under the screen.
Okay, right.
You're touching the wall.
And is that a good angle for...
No.
Oh, that's a shame.
It's dreadful.
Do you think you can get a D-box day bed?
Maybe you could. Well, you can make anything a D-box. All right, everybody.
Grab that gem, you guys. We'll see you next week.
Goodbye. I don't know what that means.
No, neither do I. Was it rude?
Yep.
That's
Sure.
that's so rude.
Yeah.
Get out of the gutter, James.
All right, I will.
Okay, bye.